Okay, we've got a green light. I think we got sound. Yeah, should be. Sound check 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Yeah. Okay, sound looks to be good, and we are live. Everything is running good. Fantastic. Let me know, please, if there will be something wrong. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you are feeling great. It's Friday, end of the week. Everything is good. Weekend ahead, a little bit of a change of plans here. I was supposed to be streaming tomorrow, but essentially what happened is that, well, tomorrow the weather is going to be a little bit more marginal to the place where I wanted to fly today. So I thought, nah, screw it, let's fly today. I'm going to use the good weather. I mean, the flight is going to be already pretty complicated. Oh, look at that. Who's there? I guess that's Snacks there. So yeah, we're flying today. We're supposed to be flying tomorrow, but it's all good. It's all good. And I'm happy to be back, guys. I'm sorry for being away for such a long time. It's been a lot of stuff happening. I'm finishing my training. There's been quite a lot of work, and basically I was running quite intense on work, so I had to give some time to myself, and that's why I kind of paused it for a little bit. Also starting to prepare for future possibilities. Don't want to talk about that yet, but definitely something will come up later. I hope so, because I'm almost finishing my training. And yeah, anyway, we are flying the Tupolev 134. You guys know I love this airplane. That was extremely sarcastic. No, I don't love this airplane. It's quite of a pain to fly, to be honest. I mean, it's not a pain to hand fly, but it is a pain to fly properly. So, yeah, anyways, we're flying the Tupolev 134. The link is in the description if you are searching to fly this airplane, if you're crazy enough, or you like this airplane. Feel free to download it. The link is down below. It's a freeware airplane. Don't get scammed for something payware. And we are with Vietnam Airlines. I was actually surprised by this livery. It looks really good, in my opinion. It fits very well the airplane. I think it's really nice. And we are right now in Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam again. I didn't know they actually operated this airplane. It was a nice surprise. And we will be flying to a place called Dien Bien in the northern Vietnam. Quite up there in the mountains. The approach is quite interesting. Essentially a one-way airport, so you have one way in, one way out, I believe. And VOR approaches only. It has some RNP approaches. The airport had received some restructuring. They have a new runway, a new larger runway, which is not, by the way, present in X-Plane. So I had to create the scenery myself, and I want to say thank you very much, Walney, for fixing some of the stuff. It's a very basic scenery. I just wanted to have the runway in the right spot and a very basic apron, so don't expect too much. It's super simple, but it's enough to do the job. And I will be sharing it. In fact, I might post it on the forum later on. Perhaps somebody might improve it and make something more useful. But yeah, that's going to be the flight. We're expecting 2 hours and 17 minutes, climbing to flight level 320. Weather so far has been pretty good. We do have some ATC. And, oh, we had some ATC. They left. I think they saw two Tupolevs and they got scared. And very rightfully so, because we don't even have a GPS today. So it's going to be very nice. And anyway, Tobias Flight, hey! Great to see you here. Radio 5x5, thank you very much. Walney, hey, good to see you here. Once again, thank you very much for helping me out with the scenery. I did check already what you changed. Perhaps if you want to touch that scenery in the future and improve it even more, feel free to do so. I'll have no problem with that. Saying Crash Flyer, great to see you here. How are you? I hope you are fully recovered at this time and you are enjoying some rest time. Snacks, hey! ATC just left. They got scared, dude. They got scared. They looked at us and they said, what is this? What is this? Two Tupolevs? This is gonna go wrong. I'm gonna get out of here. Alright, anyway, so we're not flying, at least I'm not flying in real time. There should be nighttime in Vietnam right now, and I'm doing this on purpose. So it is evening, and we should be arriving by sunset. So it should be nice and beautiful on the approach, that's dusk time. But that means we have to depart, we have to start our off-block time by, well, in 24 minutes dead. So how about this? I'm gonna stop talking. I'm going to get into the airplane. We're going to start loading everything. In fact, it's already loaded up. So we're going to just talk on that, prepare the airplane, get everything ready, and get going. Because in 24 minutes, we have to get out of here. Oh, and by the way, a quick disclaimer. You guys know I usually... oh, look, there we go. Tower approach. So they went back. I guess they listened to us and they said, no, we're going to come back anyway. So what I wanted to say is, disclaimer. You guys know that on this channel I like to take things quite seriously, so usually when we fly certain airplanes I do take my time to study them, at least read, I don't know, basic procedures, study flows, understand some of the systems, etc, etc. This is not the case for this airplane because it does not really interest me that much. So what you will see here, me operating this airplane, will be enough for you to fly it. However, it is not probably correct. So somebody who loves to fly these planes, who actually read the manual, who actually understands how they work deep inside, will have a much clearer understanding. So don't get pissed with me doing something that's not exactly right by the book. I do not intend to do that. So we're gonna do as best as I can by my own flow, which simplifies a lot of the things. I have the checklist that I found online. Works pretty well. And by the way, we're running English Cockpit mod by T-Fox. Beautifully done. So yeah, let's go. Floppo, great to see you here. And Snacks, yeah, they just came back online. That's good. Synchronous Fire, I'm back in full force and looking forward to the Russian plane stream. I know you like it. Oh yeah, I love it. Absolutely fantastic. Alright, I just want to take a screenshot here because this looks actually really cool with the 154 there on the background. So just like that. So screenshot. There we go. Alright, let's get inside. Let's start from the back here. So we got a nice cockpit, sorry, nice cabin here through the curtains, and we're gonna get it all the way to the cockpit. And I always fascinates me like how far forward the cockpit is located relative to the door. First thing I'm gonna do is set the temperature already so I don't forget. So I'm gonna put 20 degrees everywhere. So I hope 20 degrees is good for you and we will not get any picky passengers. And let's get into the cockpit. Oh my god. Alright, let's close the door so they don't hear me shouting and saying some funny words. So this is all fine, this is all fine. The plane is in a cold and dark state. And in fact, before starting anything, I'm just gonna take a seat here, or in fact, I should take a seat here. Let's see. Oh my god. Synchronous Flyer, 18 months crew member. That is insane. 18 months. Holy cow, that's man, that's half a year from, oh my god, from 2 years. That's a long time. Thank you so much for your support. I don't know, I just, every time this happens, like, I keep counting the months, and I'm like, this is so much time. Thank you so much. Yeah, beautiful CSL Snacks. I almost forgot to install it, but gladly I got it in time. So let's start by analyzing some of the stuff here. We are running a conventional navigation route, so this is only based by VOR and NDBs. That's it. The real world flights actually fly across Cambodia, which I believe is right here. But we're not going to do that. We're going to keep ourselves in Vietnamese airspace, and perhaps the coast is going to be a little bit more beautiful. I doubt we're going to see it, but we'll see. So I'm flying across the airways. We're expecting the Patma departure all the way down to Dak Lak VOR, then to Pleiku VOR. I'm probably going to pronounce a lot of names incorrectly here, so bear with me. Da Nang VOR, and then we're going to fly all the way here to Nam Hanoi VOR, and then jumping to the first NDB, Macau, and to Nasan, and from Nasan we have an approach towards Dien Bien, which has a VOR, and we will be doing a VOR approach. One of the challenges for us is going to be converting everything from oh, good. Tower sent us a message. Hello. We can accept 330. Thank you. Alright, so apparently my flight plan had flight level 320 and 320 is not available. That's totally fine. So yeah, VOR approach, and we will be converting everything from feet and nautical miles to kilometers and meters, or almost everything. Luckily we have a feet altimeter. And yeah, that'll be it. So that'll be cool. Important thing here regarding the equipment for the flight plan. So when you autofill your SimRay flight plan into VATSIM, a lot of times you get GPS or you get RNAV or something like that. And this airplane has none of that. So we can fly RVSM, but we don't have RNAV and no GPS. So I had to remove those. I was forgetting what the W meant, and W means equipped with RVSM. We are equipped with RVSM, so all good to us. Alright, so fuel for us, total fuel is 9.8. I rounded that up to 10,000. Okay, so 10,000 for the fuel, and let me actually start noting some stuff here. Final reserve 2.7, that sounds good. Oh, in fact, yeah, we would be climbing later on, so 330 will be our calculated. Then we've got 7,000 or 8,000 of payload. I've already loaded this up through the explain menu. In fact, I can show you. And we are basically at maximum takeoff weight, so very close to the limit. So that's definitely interesting. Now we might be close to max landing weight, but I don't think so. We should be well within. So we have 47.5 estimated, and we'll be landing with 41.4. Maximum is 43. So I perhaps should check that. What's our total? 47,750. So that's a little bit different. In fact, 47,750. And that's actually important to know, because we are expecting to burn on the trip 6.1, so 47 minus 6 will be 41. We're within the limit, so all looks good to me. Route is all fine. I had to do it myself, and basically all the rest seems good. I mean, we don't have any FMS, so we don't have to code anything from that. The only thing I want really is the navlog here. The navlog is going to be important, and speaking of that, I'll set this to 330, and speed I'll put probably somewhere along 250. No, it's going to be more. I'll put 330, 350. I don't know what's the speed it goes with, so we'll just go with it. Let's go navlog, and at least I have some of the track informations, distances, and so on, according to what we need and what we don't need. So that's great. All right, let's go to the airplane. Let me just reconfigure a lot of the stuff here. And let's start. So battery 1 and 2, we're going to put some battery, GPU, and connect. We're going to switch on the GPU first. I believe it's already like pre-selected, right? Not so sure. No, the GPU is not connected. I don't remember how to connect the GPU, so I'm going to stick with it like this anyway. So I'm going to put this on, and on. We'll wait for the APU for a second. What I want to do, though, is start to set up some frequencies. Again, I'm not doing this on the correct way, but bear with me. In fact, now that I'm thinking, I've put 200 kilos of extra fuel, so perhaps that'll be not a big deal. Alright, let's go engine limiters then on. fire protection. We don't need all of this for now. We just need nav lights. And we need this. We don't need that. I'll leave this for now. I'll leave this. I'm gonna put this to on. And test this fire protection on. And we're gonna put some APU left fuel pumps on automatic here. This is all fine. This is all fine. Probably power this up. That's off. That's off. That's good. Checking this side here. Remove the flight control lock. Fuel is cut off. That's correct. I'm gonna put this already to VHF1 before I forget. VHF1 on. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Okay. Now fuel. Our total fuel was 10,000, right? So before I forget, I'm gonna set here 10,000 feet because. Correction, 10,000 feet. 10,000 kilos because we have to set the fuel counters. Because the actual fuel counter is not very precise. So that's brilliant. Alright, no smoking on. Seatbelt sign is going to come on. And this is going to go off. It's going to go here. And I'll leave that as is. Now, APU, power this on, power this on. I need this. And we need to start it. Off it goes. Snacks. Good, I have the same flight plan but for NVU. I have no idea what that is, but I don't need to know. Don't worry. Erodigator, hey! Great to see you here, man. How are you? It's great to see you here. I'm doing good. I am probably gonna suffer a little bit here. Yeah. But other than that, pretty good. Alright, APU is good. I'm gonna power this up. In fact, I could put the bleed on. And I could put this on, and I can put this on. And it should be fine. So let me see if I now connect the APU. We need to watch the loads. The loads are low, and that's exactly what we want. Fantastic. Alright, I'm gonna power this up. I'm gonna power this up, even though I don't know what that is. We need VOR1 and ADF2. I'll leave it for ADF2. We don't need that. And ADF2 is gonna be right here. The question is which one it is. Is this one or it's the other one? I'll leave it on channel 2 and I'll program this one once we need it. Alright, I'll leave that on. So now the gyros are all powered off. That's completely normal and that's what I need. So the only thing I really want is frequencies. Frequencies and courses, because we'll be departing from runway 25. We'll be using 116.8. And that's what I'll be setting here, 116.8. We'll be setting the courses already because we are expecting Patma. This will be course 038. And we need to set up the VOR DMU, the DMU as well, sorry. So that'll be 116.8. Oh, by the way, I think Tower sent me a message. Yeah, roger. Alright. Above is ADF1, below is ADF2. Thank you very much, Snacks. So I'll leave that there then, and we will do it. Well, I can program. No, wait. Yeah, we need to leave ADF2. Alright, so I'll leave ADF2 anyway, and it will be on here, channel 1, and we will program the numbers here. Fantastic. Another thing I need to check, did I just receive a message? Yes, I expect ACP6 route departure and after AC follow Whiskey 1 Airways flight plan route. After Jesus, okay. Whiskey 4, so we got a change of plan here. Change of plan. And we're 10 minutes from departure. We're definitely late. I'll still try. I will still try. So he sent me to... why can't we go via Patma? Whiskey 1. Alright, so Patma goes away. And we go to Bravo Charlie. Correction, to Alpha Charlie. And then Whiskey 1 to Wilco. Okay, so let's see, is this departure? We have a 10.8 DME arc. Oh my god, I need my calculator. I didn't bring one with me. Phone will do. Okay. Alright, so let's be straight ahead initially on 251. 251 then. Whoops. God damn it. It's gonna be extremely fun to do this. Anyway, so let's make a little calculation here. So we need to do the 10.8 DME arc. 10.8 is 20 kilometers essentially. So here goes my notes. So 20 kilometers arc. We turn at 7.4. So 7.4 is so fun. 13. Now there is no way I'm gonna turn this early. Oh, that's just the fix between. Okay, so to anticipate, let's assume we're at 2. We're gonna turn it 18. Sorry, no, 2 times this. We're gonna turn at 20 minus 4 at okay, I'm gonna call it 17 or 16, like 17 kilometers. I'm gonna turn. No, I'm gonna still put 16. It's better to be at 16. And we're gonna keep on the arc until we intercept the 059 to unlock, which is 320, which we can already set. 320. And I'm gonna set it on both sides just in case. Alright, channel set. Now I need VOR1 here and arc 2 there. Fantastic. It's not powered up, so it will not show up. I need to check, do we have any altitude restrictions here above 10,000? 10,000 is fine. We have the altimeter there, so all the rest seems to be fantastic. Okay, that seems good to me. We have refueling complete, right? Right, so seatbelt sign is already on. And let's do a power-up checklist. So loading and fueling is set, fuel to letters are set, rear circuit breakers, I'm going to assume they're on. I'm not going to touch these two because they draw a lot of power and I don't want to overheat the battery because you can actually... Oh, sorry, not the battery, the APU. So I'm going to leave that on. Batteries are fine. Power is set. Radios, yeah, forget that. PO 500 inverter is on. And nav lights run. Electric hydraulic pump, I believe it's this one. Probably not, but disregard. Or perhaps it's this one. But I'm gonna disregard it anyways. Transponder. Transponder, we're gonna put this to Charlie mode and power this to on. I'm gonna put 2000 initially before I forget. Flight recorder and clock, don't regard that. Altimeters don't require. Oh, we don't require that now. Nose wheel steering, I'm gonna leave that. AOA engine meters on. Cabin signs are on. APU startup. We did the fire detection. Fuel pumps are fine. We got the APU bleed on. Voltmeter is good. Power selector should be on the APU. So that's good. Cabin cockpit temperatures are all fine. I'm gonna disregard that before engine start. Okay, so let's give tower a call. 118.7. It's already there. So let's go. We have 5 minutes till departure. And information Bravo, Whiskey, approach runway 25 right. Departing 25 left. Wind to right 1507, variable between 110 and 170. Okay, interesting. A bit of a tailwind component there. Visibility 10 kilometers, cloud view 3000, broken 4000, correction 5400, temperature 25, dew point 22, QNH 1013, no significant change. Advise initial contact, have information Bravo. Now I'm not touching any altimeters yet, but I could. Now the funny thing here is you'll look at this, and this essentially says as pressure of mercury, whatever. So this is a different type of pressure, and essentially to do that we need to divide QNH by 1.333. This will give me 759. So this is what I'll set, 759, and that's what it will be as. So 759 is set here, 759 is here, 759 is here, and that'll be it, right? Do I have another one? Do I have another one? No. Okay, good. So 759 is set. Let's give him a call. What's the name? Tunson, not Tower. Oh my god. Okay, I'll just call Tower. Never mind. And he said me to expect ACB. ACB is gonna be Alpha Charlie. Alpha Charlie 7 departure. Alright. Let's give him a call. Oh no! Go away. Tunson Tower, hello, this is Vietnam Airlines 1160 on stand 103 with information Bravo. Would like to request IFR clearance.
Vietnam 1160, Tunson Tower, ITC clear to Điện Biên via Alpha Charlie 7 Bravo. After Alpha Charlie Whiskey 1, fly en route. Initially climb 5,000 feet. Squawk 5774, departure runway 25 left.
Clear to Dien Bien Airport via Alpha Charlie 7 Bravo departure. After Alpha Charlie fly Whiskey 1 airway. Initially climb 5,000 feet. Squawk 5774, departure runway 25 left, Vietnam 1160.
Vietnam 1160, read back is correct.
Alright, fantastic. So, we need 55, what was that? 5774, and somebody subscribed. Thank you very much for subscribing, joining the channel. Be very welcome on board. Right, we've got that. We need 5,000 feet. 5,000 feet is going to be eyeballed. When I mean eyeballed, is mean there is no way to set it up, but 5,000 feet is going to be our initial climb. And that will be it, right? Right, okay. We've got the APU already. So I suggest we're gonna go for the departure briefing because we're getting close to that departure time. You guys are ready? Well, let's go. Let's start. So we're flying Tupolev 134. Wish me luck. Fly to Vietnam Airlines 1160 from Ho Chi Minh City to Dien Bien. No times are not checked. We're just gonna go with it. But the weather so far looks to be pretty good.
And confirm ready ATC clearance.
We
already copied IFR clearance here.
We do have some clouds there, but nothing significant. It's pretty clear all the way down there. NTS should not be required. No terrain radar, no weather radar. Just go for it. Or
after Alpha Charlie NDB, follow
this should be probably a weather radar, but I have an idea.
5,000 feet.
Anyways, and I guess somebody joined the channel again. Thank you very much. Yes, Stormy, I believe. Welcome to the channel. Thank you very much for joining. Alright, so we are on gate 103. Right here, we'll be departing runway 25 left. So, here's what I anticipate. We're going to be probably pushing back here into Yankee, facing towards the west. then taxi via Yankee 1 Victor, perhaps all the way to Sierra, I don't know, or we could just continue onwards to Victor here, Tango 1, and then to Sierra 1, all the way down to the beginning of runway 25 left. Alright, our runway's dry, wind is checked, we're going to do full power takeoff, flaps 10, no performance figures here on this airplane, and we'll be departing via the Alpha Charlie. This is analog and DB7 Bravo departure. This is page 10-3 Alpha, effective from the 27th of November for 10 Songnyat International Airport. Our transition altitude is 9,000. Alpha Charlie, are all used when having completed coordination with Regional Command Standard 3. Oh, interesting. It's probably due to some military airspace or perhaps military activity or something else. No idea. Yeah, this is all fine. We don't need that, and we do require a climb. No, we don't require. Okay, Alpha Charlie, we climb on 10 Sonyat VOR, radial 251 to 10.8 DME. We already know that this is 20, so I already calculated this. This is 20 kilometers because our airplane is in kilometers. I mean our DME. Turn left, fly on 10.8 DME, arc until passing radial 147. So radial 147. Need to remember that. Intercept bearing 059 to Alpha Charlie NDB at or above flight level 100. Initial is 5,000. Okay, from Alpha Charlie, we are jumping to the Whiskey 1 airway, which is right here, you can see it, and we'll be proceeding directly to the VOR. This is going to be a course of 0 to 9. 0 to 9, that's set. Okay, that sounds good to me. A couple of things, though. An Avalok. So we are at 10.5, this is almost 11. I'm going to pre-select this already. We need to align the gyro, so put this already about here. Yeah, about there, sounds good. Alright, special considerations. This is a quite interesting airplane. We're going to anticipate the turn into the arc, turning at 16 kilometers. Our DME indication is right down here. I'll be watching the needle, and we will be needing to remember to fly until 147. Alright, radio navs are set. We've got 116.8 and 320 on the ADF2. Already pre-selected. Course is set. And that'll be about it. There is no significant terrain around here. MSA is 2,800, so it should be pretty fine with our climb performance. Rejected, so we reject for any malfunction until 150. Between 150 and V1 we're going to stop only for significant malfunctions, in which case I'll call reject. I'll apply maximum manual braking, apply reverse, and deploy the speed brakes manually. Of course, I call reject, advise the ATC, stop on the runway, set the parking brake. I'll call the cabin crew back there and then advise the ATC in that situation. If something happens after V1, we're going to continue straight ahead and we're going to climbing to at least 3,000 feet. Request vectoring to return back to ILS Zulu, runway 25 left. Or I could probably request 25 right, because 25 right is 800 meters longer. So we'll see according to that. At this moment, we are overweight, so need to remember that. No takeoff alternate. Other than that, no other considerations. Just have fun. Alright, 5 minutes late. The briefing is complete. Any questions? If you do have those, please post them on the chat. Sing Crash Flyer. Lovely Russian tech. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna put the beacon light on. I'm gonna put this 2 on. What else do I need? Perhaps I think I need these 2. Probably not, but I'll put this to auto, and yeah, automatic brake system will come to on already. So this is fine, this is fine, this is fine. It's gonna be on. And I believe that's about it. How are we looking in terms of temperature of the APU and of the load? Load is still pretty low, so that's okay, because I haven't powered up a lot of the stuff here. If I power this on, though, this is when the things will come up to life. Load will come up to life, and yeah, it's gonna start to be fun. Alright, QNH 1013, it's still powered down. Anyway, and I that's gonna be it. Right. I'm gonna go for the engine start. Before engine start, checklist EGT indicator switches are on. Stop blinking. Fuel cutoff switches are closed. RPM indicator switch are on. Fuel pumps are all on. Fuel management is on. Fuel transfer automatic. IAP ventilation if on off. Alright, so let's close this off. And we're gonna leave that as is. Before engine start, checklist is complete. Engine start checklist. So let's check block and covers removed. Beacon lights is on. AP bleed pressure. I have no idea where to check that, but I believe somewhere along here. Yeah, it's above 35, so that's good. Vibration indicators are on. I've powered them up. Fuel cutoff levers are forward. Oh, really? Do I have to put them on? Oh, yes, I do have to put them on, in fact. Control lock is removed. Starter switches are off. Left starter button. Yeah, I'm going to continue with the rest of the stuff. Okay, so set this. Let's start to close stuff. Or remove the ground equipment. Yep. Close the door. Remove stairs. Remove that. Remove all of the stuff. Call better pushback.
Grounded cockpit. Tow is driving up.
And just for safety reasons, I want to put this to nose wheel steering on, and I don't know if I should power it up or not, but I'll put the 55 degrees at least to on. Synchro Fire, I know you will kill me for that, but will you fly the Yak 40 one day? Yes, I will. It's not as terrible. It has some quirks. In fact, I spoke about it on the last stream. It has an APU that overheats with time, no matter the load. It just overheats because it's designed that way. So you have like, I don't know, a 10 minutes window to start the engines, and then it's just going to shut off. So it's impressive, but other than that, it's a quite simple airplane. So yes, I will be flying the Yak 40, absolutely.
Okay.
Walney, oh yes, damn you, the Tupolev 134, let's see the Vlad struggling. I will struggle, I will. Trust me, I will. In the Tupolev 134 menu, you can add a weather radar. Ah, it's fine. You can also change the DME reading to nautical miles in a minute. Okay, where's the menu? Where's the menu? Please tell me. I know it's a there is a button somewhere.
208, confirm you already start up your engine.
Where is the menu? Please let me know.
208, Roger, stand by.
Have I turned the APU bleed on? I'm pretty sure I did. Yes, I did.
208, taxi via Victor Sierra 1, hold short of runway 2 for left.
Confirm Victor, Charlie 1, or short 25 left.
208, regular and taxi route, taxi now Victor Sierra 6.
Go to plugins.
And Sierra 1, hold short, runway 2 for left.
Victor, Sierra 6, Sierra 1.
I have no idea where it is. I don't want to crash the airplane though. Tower Vietnam 1160 requests. Push and start.
Vietnam 1160, stand by for pushback. Expect delay about 3 minutes.
Alright, just stand by Vietnam 1160. 3 minutes? For what? There's another airplane right there. It's a LATAM 767. Somebody's flying cargo. Okay, 3 minutes. So an ex-first officer. Oh, this says equipment.
208 tower.
I'm gonna try and click it.
Go ahead.
Alright, equipment.
208, confirm
Modern
your
COM 1,
facing
GNS
direction
navigation.
to the
No,
terminal.
no.
Yes, I just checked the position to taxi.
The second one. I don't see anything regarding try the first one. Well, the first one states for Oh wait, maybe options. Nope. Management. This is crew options. Oh, there we go. Okay, perhaps this one. Nope. All right, fine. Well, we'll stick with kilometers. Not much I could do. It's overworked. Is there that many traffic? Let's see. I have a bunch there over Europe. There's no traffic, dude. Okay, now we're getting a delay due to ATC. It's fine. Is this in knots? Oh yeah, we have in knots. Good. Oh yes, fantastic. You know what? Because we have that that thing. Let me actually. I'm gonna get my CRP5 real quick, so I can calculate some of the stuff. You guys give me 1 minute. Please write me a message in the chat if he calls me. And I'm back. I hope it didn't call me. I got my calculator and I got my CRP5 because we can make some calculations with it. If you don't know what a CRP5 is,
Vietnam 1160, Tasha Tower.
I go ahead for Vietnam 116.
Vietnam 1160, now pushback is set up approved for east on Yankee, unit 1013.
Confirm facing east, Vietnam 116.
Vietnam 1160, facing east on Yankee taxiway.
Facing east on Yankee taxiway, clear for push and start, Vietnam 116. Alright,
Ground to cockpit.
so
Please show me where you want to go.
east is there, right? Oh yeah, I said west in the briefing, I said it wrong.
So connected
All right.
and bypass and inserted. Release parking
30
brake.
minutes, we're 30 minutes late, brakes are released.
Starting pushback.
We
and
are
you may start
clear to go, and we can start the engine, so that's good. So I'm gonna go this, and now we have to hit on this for 20 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I hope it starts, because if it doesn't, it means I messed up something. Yeah, you got an engine start. Oh my god. Alright, very good. Oh god, we got it. We got it. Let's let the engine stabilize for a little bit. Don't rush the stuff. Seems like the engine is stabilized.
Tower, Vietnam now 10,
Let's see if I can connect
descending
the
level
jets.
100,
Yes, I can.
leaving level
Fantastic.
240.
And
Vietnam 9010, contact Tasha terminal
let's do
125.5.
off this. And
1255,
1,
sorry about that,
2,
Vietnam 910.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
Operation
16,
complete. Set parking brake.
17, 18, 19,
Disconnecting tow.
20.
Stand by.
Yay. Okay. It's going. It's going. Very good. Very good. I can start to put some load in as well. And we can disconnect. The parking brake was set. And put this to on. This and this. So waiting for the other engine to be stabilized completely. Oh wait, where are you going, dude?
Hose disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the
Did it
right.
not-
We'll see you next
did it
time
not
and have a safe
charge?
flight.
Did it not charge, really?
UTR 20X, wind 140
Got no
degrees,
brakes.
6 knots, runway 25 clear for takeoff.
Can I deploy the reverse? Yes, I can. I'm gonna deploy the reverse technique to stop. Now we've got brakes. Alright, good. Power up the gens. Gonna put this on as well. APU off here. This is all good. On. Like all these buttons could be automatic. I don't need that. Low on. Low on. Alright. I don't need that. I need this. And off, close. That's powered. That's not needed. That's not needed. That's not needed. We need this, however. Set the flaps to 10 already. Yeah, that was quite stupid on my side, in fact. Should have powered the hydraulics. And before I align the other one, we're gonna come and put this on, put this on, put this on. Set, 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 all set, close this. Close the bleed, stop the IPU. IPU is pulling down. Put this to auto, 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 auto. Put this to on for now. And let's see, what do I need? Extra stuff here. Don't need that, don't need that. Goes to low. And we're gonna align. So 21 is already set. That seems to be aligned. Now wait for it to be aligned completely. Alright, that seems to be aligned. Auxiliary. That sometimes bugs a little bit. Yeah, it has a bit of a difference, that one. But alright, let's see. Compass says 050. Yeah, it's still not perfect. Should be 050. It is not totally aligned. Let's align the other gyro.
UTR 20X, follow SID, contact Tasha, terminal 125.5.
Copy, approach on 125.5. Thank you for service. Bye-bye.
Alright, so that's aligned. Am I missing something here? I don't think so. No, that's set. We've set the right... Let me check. Perhaps I am using the wrong one. No, 10.8. That should be it. 10.8. Heading 072. No, it says right here. So is the compass... The compass is broken then. Alright, compass is a little bit bad. Extend the lights and after engine start. So voltmeters. Engine 124 is checked. That is good. Gens are on. IT 1500D is or C connected. PO 4000 connected. 27 is converted. I don't think we need this one, in fact. because this says reserve. So I'll leave that off. 2715 transformer on, power source selector is neutral. So that's on neutral. And inverter, that's closed, APU bleed closed, APU off. Whoops, wrong button, sorry. Off, off, close this. Automatic hydraulic system is check automatic. Overhead CVs are all on. Gyro attitude indicator switches on. Altimeter switches are all set. In fact, I need to reset those again. There we go, there we go. And where is it? There we go. Right, electric trimmer, I'm gonna leave that off. In fact, I'm gonna use this as trim cutoff because otherwise it will break up a little bit the airplane. Window heat is low, stabilizer takeoff minus 1.5, so I guess it's up. So I'll put it here. I'll do -1, I'm conservative. And flaps 10, indication is correct. Attitude indicators are aligned. Pressurization switch is set. Engine bleed valves are good. I believe they're good. Cooling and heating switches on. Navigation switches all set. Gyro is set. The only thing I need to set is my heading. Departure heading 251. About here. Alright. That's a line. Autopilot. I'm gonna prepare the modes. And put this 2 up a little bit. Let's see if flight directors are all correct. And auto throttle. We don't need auto throttle. It's correct. Transponder. Correction text checklist. Mode Charlie set. Lights prepared. Anti-ice off. Tower Vietnam 116 ready for taxi.
Vietnam 116, taxi via Yankee 1, Sierra 6, Sierra and Sierra 1, hold short at runway Tupolev.
Taxi via Yankee 1, Sierra 6, Sierra 2, Sierra 1, hold short of runway 25 left, Vietnam 116. Alright, let's get the lights on. Taxi. Brakes are released, so clear on the left, clear on the right. So straight ahead now. Let's get going. Holy cow. Holy cow. I am flying this on the stream. This is gonna go terribly wrong. The emergency, it's on. I guess I didn't recharge it properly. That was my mistake. 30 minutes delay. Dang, VNA is getting better. Is it that bad? I don't know why. There was no actual reason for this, so I don't know. So Yankee 1 is all the way down there, so very much as we planned. No Russian pushback. Is there a Russian pushback? I think it's enough that we have a Soviet airplane. I don't want to go with much more than that. By the way, I forgot to say, so last stream where there was a vote on the topic, on the future topic that we'll be covering, I believe what won was the lift, like basic understanding of lift. So on the cruise, time permitting of course, we will be talking about that. Oh, that's a 787 from Vietnam. I wish to be on that airplane much more than on this one. What a contrast. So that, yeah, and speaking of that, I need to put a new poll vote for next stream topic. So, the flight controls, primary and secondary. So I'll just put flight controls. We can talk about airplane weights. What else can we talk about? Anybody give me a suggestion of the topics? It's all clear on the right, clear on the left. There's Yankee 1. Funny thing is, we are basically at maximum takeoff weight and airplane is still rolling without adding thrust. Clear left. All clear on the right. I need my charts. I need my charts. So Sierra, it's on the second one. God damn it, I'm still clicking there. All clear around us. Why do they take that much time? Interesting. I just wish to know the reason. Oh boy, that's not a very flat position there. Not a very flat taxiway. Not too bad. So, flight controls, airplane weights. What can I say more than that? Airport symbology. Yeah. Alright. And poll created. You can vote. And we need to take a screenshot because this is just too fun. The contrast between these two is insane.
303 due operation today Tango Tanzan nhất we not accept in flight plan for Vietnam local sir. Question IBAN local. So
let's add a little bit of power. Get there quickly. So it's straight ahead now.
Visit 303
and left.
Stand by.
Benedek. If only this plane wasn't so badly optimized. Yeah, I get more FPS with the Tupolev 346. Well, the Tupolev airplanes are very well optimized. Is that a Condor?
Vietnam 910.
That looks like a Condor.
Final runway 255.
Well,
it's
not too bad. Yes, it could be better, but it's not terrible. Oh, 2060. Okay, I get you now. I totally get you now. The contrast, dude. Pretty tube. Hey, good old Tupolev. Yeah, you can skip the good. You can just say old Tupolev. Don't need to say good old. It's just old Tupolev. Alright, let's see. Before takeoff, lights, pitot heat, nose steering, and clock. Clock will be absolutely useless.
Vietnam 1160, confirm ready for departure.
You're ready for departure, Vietnam 116.
Vietnam 1160, line up and wait, runway 25 left.
Line up and wait, runway 25 left, Vietnam 116. Alright, so we are already...
Vietnam 51, Lucas I-5, to keep to us 5, information Charlie.
Transponder mode Charlie is already on. We didn't receive the clearance
Vietnam 51
to take off yet, so I'm going to put the lights on. I'm just going to put this too high.
Squawk 5741, departure 258.
Should be window heat.
Quickly to Heathrow via the Southern 5 kilo departure, climb 5,000 feet, about 5741, departure runway 25 left, Vietnam 51. Vietnam 51, read that correct?
And this one.
Visit 303 from terminal advise reject, we are reject all IFA local and VFA local. Please change the flight plan to another destination, please, or disconnect. Bye-bye.
Alright, steering is nice and aligned, parking brake is set, steering 55 degrees off, and we're waiting for the lights, right? Yes. Whew, guys, I am a little bit worried. So, straight ahead until 16, left-hand turn towards 20 until we pass 147, and then on 059 we continue. I mean, I'm ready to go.
Vietnam 1160, wind 140 degrees, signal, runway Tupolev, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, running 25 left, Vietnam 116. Alright guys, wish me luck. Walney already wished me.
Vietnam runway 10,
Hit the like button for this.
Papa 5, hold short,
Engines are stabilized, full power. Takeoff.
Papa 4, Papa 5, and hold short to the left, Vietnam now
1731. Power set. That's checked. Set speed alive. 150. 170. 190. 210. V1. Rotate. V2. And we've got positive climb, gear up.
Vietnam 10 cross, runway 25
Gears up
crossing
and
the left,
locked.
0.
Lock the switch.
Cross to the left, after crossing left on Sierra, Vietnam now 10.
I'll wait to power reduction until
Vietnam
800.
1160, contact terminal 125.5, good day.
125.5, bye-bye, Vietnam 116. Alright, so power reduction. And let's help me out with some autopilot.
Vietnam 9010 after crossing monitor
So
advisory
1255. Power is good. Are we in terms of kilometers looking good? Let's go lights off and retract. Terminal, hello, Vietnam Airlines 1160, passing 2,300, climbing 5,000.
Vietnam 1160, hello, Tasset Terminal, identify, continue climb flight level 190, follow Alpha Charlie 7 Bravo SID.
Getting climbing flight level 190, climbing by Alpha Charlie 7 Bravo, departure Vietnam 116. Alright, flaps up. 9 kilometers. So far good. I could switch to the VOR. VOR course set. Prepare my next heading. And remember now, flight level 190. Right, 11 kilometers. So far, so good. We need bleed pressure immediately. And that's good enough. Alright. Calming nice. Passing 15. So far, so good. There's 16, heading mode on. That was something else. What was that? That was Halkibe. Subscribe to the channel. Welcome on board. Thank you very much for joining. Drop the nose a little bit. So far, so good. Alright, I need to set up 147. So 147. So I can at least see that we're going to cross it. And this way will be a little bit easier to me. Okay, we are approaching 21, a little bit off. Continue to turn. Continue to turn. Transition altitude is 9,000, still a little bit of time. Close in a little bit so you can catch up. There we go, 21.5. Eh. Could be better. Could be better. Speed so far is good. Drop the nose a tiny bit more. 92 on the power. We are recovering our arc. Passing 8,000. After takeoff, gear up and off, flaps up, stabilizer. Well, it's gonna be moved by the autopilot. Thrust reductions before 93, so I need to add a %. There we go. Landing lights off and retracted. Ventilation is off. Out transition altitude, we're gonna cover that up later. 20.8 sounds good. We're approaching that. It's 20.7. Do a little bit of a turn there. And there's 9,000 feet, so let's set 1013. This will be 760 and 760. Set. Beautiful. 20.6. Keep the turn. And we're climbing 190. 20.5. Not too bad. 10,000 lights are off. Gonna keep the seatbelt sign on for now. By the way, I found a fix. For the yaw damper. So far it's been working okay. So we'll see how this flight goes. 20.5. You're running good. We need 059 then. 059. Speed is good, that is good. Drop the nose a tiny bit. I'm on purpose not accelerating too much, because otherwise the plane may get too much speed and then it will be difficult to fly. So I prefer to get a little bit slower, use the speed to climb, and then it's going to be a little bit more simple. Okay, we have passed. No, never mind. That's the yellowish one. We need the white one. We need the white one, and we are still going into the 147. So I need the back of the needle at 147. Got some time to look out at the window. A nice view of the city. Oh, there's the airport, by the way. Pretty cool. 20.3. We're looking good. We're absolutely stabilized on the arc. Let's see our drawing. Look at that. We're doing it. We are doing it. .2, 20.3. Keep the turn slower. Slower and slower. So we are approaching 059. This is 4, this is 5, that would be 9. We need to go direct there. So it's pretty good. It's 13. It's on the climb out. Click up the drop the nose. Oh, there we go, it's entering. So almost there. Sorry, need to mute that. There we go, that's muted. And that will be 459. We are just about there. Essentially, we would need to keep 059. Passing 14 and 059 with the wind correction. What does it state?
Vietnam 1160, Meister advisory 122, that's my bye-bye.
Over to 122.8, Vietnam 116, bye-bye. Alright, now
Nice arc, see ya.
See ya, thanks for the service. Okay, 1228, set. And we just have to follow the NDB now, because we've crossed it, so... Let's do 060, averaging this one, and we're going to start preparing the next VOR. because once we pass the NDB, we're going to be intercepting that one. It will be 112.1, and we can also continue to climb. So perhaps I will be dropping the nose even more to keep the airplane on acceleration, and 112.1 will be on the VOR. 112.1. Remember to change that as well on the DME. And the course will be 029. 029. Fantastic, that's set up. So we're now flying direct. And off we go. It's pretty calm, pretty good. So I might even disengage the fasten seatbelt sign here at Vietnam Airlines under Tupolev 134. Let's see our departure. Not too bad, guys. Look at this. Check it, compare it with the chart. Give me a minute, and boom. I didn't use the icon, so that was pretty good. I think that was pretty good. All right. Okay, we're passing 18. On the climb to 19, the radial is coming up. We're going to be passing the NDB soon. This is the interesting part because NDB does not have any distance, so we basically have to watch it just by the needle. Alright, I'll drop the nose even more. Continue to climb. So far, so good. It's been hazy here, man. Quite hazy. Okay, need to catch up with the chat, guys. I'm sorry. It's been too much of the stuff. So yeah, I missed a lot of messages. So let's see. Benek Halda, have you tried the Yak 40 upgraded to X-Plane 12? Yes, I did. It was in fact supposed to be the airplane that we will be taking today on a very different route. But I didn't have the time to learn the airplane properly. Like, I can start it, but I didn't have the checklist. I didn't see any flows. I didn't see a lot of the stuff, and because of that, I decided not to fly it. So I went with the Tupolev, which felt better to me to take it as a plane. Passing climb about 200. But yes, I will be flying that airplane. It's quite nice, I have to say. Look, the NDB arc is starting to move. The NDB needle is starting to move more and more, and we are approaching the course of 029. So yeah, we're definitely getting there on the climb. Pretty good so far. Chris Ninja, hello! I see you're flying my favorite aircraft. Chris Ninja, for real? Is this your favorite airplane? Really? Holy cow, man. You are brave. I have to admit. Barney 2002. I was the 777 holding 25 left. Oh, really? Awesome, dude. I saw you on the departure there. I caught a glimpse of you. That was great. Chris Ninja, only VOR or you use some ADF? No, we are using some ADF. We are using ADF right now. And we'll be using more. Nice DME arc. Hey, hello from Tenson Yacht Tower. Oh, dude! Great to see you here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, can you, by the way, answer the question? Why was there a delay? Like, was that due to some, I don't know, like you were trying to simulate perhaps some restrictions of the airspace because the snacks was departing ahead of me, or like what was that? I don't mind the delay, but that was interesting. Well, I think you have some experience with the NDB, Vlad. Yes, I do. It's not hard, and yes, I do have in real life as well. We do at the aerodrome where I fly, where I did my training. Essentially the only instrument or the only radio aid available is an NDB, so we are quite familiar with it. And look at that, the needle is starting to drop, and we are just on the radio, so that means we are there, and that means I'll be switching this to VOR, and we'll be initiating our turn inbound. Look at that, we passed just almost over that. Let's check it out, look at that, not too bad. Not too bad. And still on the climb, flight level 230, looking good. Oh man, it's really hazy down there. I hope the weather does clear out a little bit, because I want to enjoy some views, because this country is beautiful. It's a beautiful country. Alright, probably will hunch a little bit the airway there, but that's alright. Makes sense, I did a couple of Cuban milk runs in it, pretty fun thing. Yeah, it is, it is. We will be flying it, and you know what I like about it? It can land on the gravel, so I have some gravel airports planned. Here, the gentleman Walney has created some pretty cool sceneries, so yeah, we'll be flying into those. Alright, look at us flying the 134, not as scary as it looks. I'm joking, of course, I'm sweating. Kind of. No, I'm fine, but this is definitely fun. This view, though, must have been quite the view. You could just sit here. I just think one thing is not very realistic. I think it should be pretty noisy here due to the wind, and it's not really. But it should be very noisy here. It's literally the forward section of the airplane where everything is being thrown at. Whew, okay, so always think ahead. So we're flying now. This leg is, I don't know how many miles, is 100 miles long. So 100 miles long would be like 180 something kilometers. Oh yeah, because it's 17 plus 100, so that's why we have more than that. So when we will be at 186 kilometers, we will be passing Enrin. So it sounds good to me. We're pretty much aligned. Everything is nice. Speeds are good. We're still climbing with a good performance. So I see no problem with that. And we'll be going onwards to flight level 330, maintaining it all the way there. But we need to think ahead, and we need to remember what is going to be our next course. And next course is going to be 357. Now, because I'm using the VOR1, I'll be switching here to 357 already. So I don't forget it. 357 is pre-selected there. And we'll keep going for now. Well, the NDBs are disappearing nowadays suddenly. Well, it's a very old radio aid, and it is, especially if you fly it in real life, you will see that it's not very precise. Not in the way that it can't be precise, it can be precise. However, it's very easily influenced by external factors like terrain, weather, so there is a lot of it, and there is the night effect, which essentially during night there is a different layer in our atmosphere that essentially reflects certain radio waves, and your NDB can be affected by those radio waves coming from other NDBs. It's kind of complex, but at the same time simple. So essentially, like, the range of the NDB extends, but it's not very precise. And then, like, just the the fact that the terrain can be different, the signal might be different. So there's the refraction, very much like light travels through water. So yeah, and because of that, of course, I don't think they were used that much. I mean, once they broke, or the radiate would break, there would be no point in replacing them, so they would be replacing those at time. So that kind of makes sense to me, to be fair. That kind of makes sense. I do think that radio aids are kind of an important means of navigation, like a backup in case you lose GPS or something. Especially lately, we've been seeing a lot of GPS spoofing situations. So the question comes back, like, okay, GPS is amazing, but how actually reliable is it? Can we trust it completely, or do we have to still watch out for those backups? By the way, guys, it's not been shaking that much, so I guess my fix for the yaw damper, it still moves a little bit, but it's quite less. It's quite less because the yawing was very, very significant under autopilot. Still not amazing, but definitely better. Definitely doable. And we are passing 280, still on the climb. Speed is good. So seems pretty good. It's pretty good. So the delay was for sequencing. All right, good, great. That was very nice. Thank you. That's why I'm doing my map. I'm gonna add it later then to explain. Yeah, man, you were doing it. That's a crazy job right there you were making. I think somebody else was doing that, but he was doing like VORs, NDVs, a lot of stuff, and he was basing them on, I think it was 1970s old Jeppesen charts, so you could fly like to old airports. I don't remember. I wanted to send it to you, but I don't remember where to find that. Silent Hunter, can't wait for the Phenom stream, going to grab it hopefully during the Valentine sales. Oh, it will happen, and it will probably happen tomorrow. Speaking of it, are we going to fly where? Let me see, how is the poll going? You guys can still vote on where are we going to fly. So there is still the poll going on. So Snowy Canada is winning with 44%. Second place is for Mountainous New Zealand. Third place goes for Executive Japan. And at the last place with only 3%, Regional USA. Snowy Canada seems quite interesting on the Phenom. I need to find some interesting place. If you guys know any interesting place in Canada, probably something like we got into Hudson's Hope, where we had to kind of design our own approach. That was quite nice. Alright, let me drop my nose even more to get some extra speed. We're barely climbing though right now. I mean, we are climbing, but quite slower. So maybe I'll keep 310. 310 should be fine. That's 300. So let's go until 310 and then we'll level off and accelerate, because we're going quite slow now. Yeah, it's been, man, what is going on here? It's very hazy. Very hazy. Alright, let's see. Look, we are dead on the airway. I wanted to see, we are at 11 going upwards. Just wanted to check if we need to do any adjustments for the gyros, but no, still haven't changed much, so it's pretty good. It's a pretty good airplane, Silent Hunter. The Phenom is pretty cool. It's a nice airplane, and it's gonna be a detox. You know, it's a detox. We're gonna go from this airplane, which has a million buttons. And you know what? The problem is not exactly that it has a million buttons. The problem is the buttons are frequently in a very weird position. So for instance, like, okay, this row up here mostly is related to all the instrumentation that you have right here. Okay, like, okay, engine instruments are positioned right here. Fine. But then you have an instrument right here, which is the angle of attack. It's a very useful one. Guess where it is? Oh, it's down here in the middle of nothing. Why? I have no clue. Like, there's this. Then, I don't know, for instance, you've got batteries here, generators here, switches here. You want to have your APU go back here. Why? Alright, fine, you got your APU here, but you need an inverter. Where do you think that inverter is? Oh, it's down here. Like, why? Pressurization of the airplane, very important thing, right? Where do you think it is? Oh, it's back here, hidden in this corner. Totally fine. Makes complete sense. I mean, yeah, kind of like, whatever. I just now noticed that they have the throttles for the first officer on that side as well. But funnily, they do not have reversers on it. And we are approaching our level off altitude. We'll maintain 3-1. So to maintain altitude, I'll just click on altitude hold. It's going to be a very smooth level off, and we'll keep 93 for a little bit to accelerate the plane. And I missed it. 31. There we go. Leveling off. Fantastic. It's very hazy. Oh yeah, but it has a fan, like, fine. Oh, and then I could talk more about this. Let's say, this big arrow right here. This is the heading arrow. This is not the VOR arrow. You cannot set the VOR. If you want to set the VOR, you need to set it down here. Why? Go figure. I have no idea. So there's a lot of stuff like that. Altesia. One day I'll learn the 134. Well, good luck. It's definitely fun. I don't love it, but it's cool to try different planes. Probably I'll put it this way. I'll put it this way. It's cool to try different planes. That's pretty nice. Alright, Altesia, I'm on the 154 first. So the 154 is a little bit more forgiving on a lot of stuff. Like the navigation systems are a little bit more efficient. I'm gonna call it that way. The APU isn't as ridiculous as on this one. Like, you cannot overheat it that easily, which is definitely fine. The autopilot on the 154 though is a pain, at least for me, because it has all those modes, all those different buttons. I'm not a fan of that. So yeah, autopilot on 154. I prefer this one. It looks weird, but it's very simple. So you just hit this and this, it prepares the modes, you prepare the autopilot here, and then you either switch this thing to heading or to nav, and then you click on course. Where are we turning? We are 81 kilometers away. Where are we having this oscillation of signal? Are we having a drift down of signal? I don't know. We are at 12. Perhaps we need to align the gyros. Let's do a 12. Align. Oh yeah, I guess so. Holy cow, it drifted off. It freaking drifted off. Drifted off like crazy. Makes sense now. So yeah, that's about it. It's a lot of fun. Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. I said so many curse words when I was learning it. It's incredible. Arrival into the unmanned. Will you fly DME arc or make a teardrop? I am inclined to do the DME arc. I was thinking initially to do a teardrop, but the teardrop, I don't know. I mean, the DME arc is much more efficient for sure, but at the same time it's a little bit more complex. So I will see. I will see. Stormy, Castlegar has some interesting approaches in Canada. Let me write that down. Castlegar. Castlegar. So I noted that. Do you know the ICAO code by any means? Walney, the guy that made a 1970s nav aids for X-Plane made it only for Great Britain, while I'm doing it for Poland, East Germany, Czech Republic, and Slovakia. Oh, okay. Yes, I remember just seeing something regarding him that he wanted to do it for a lot of places. So maybe that's it. Sync Crash Flyer, Phantom is cool, but we all wait for the Falcon 8X. I don't, to be fair. It feels like a complex airplane. Not to say that it's not cool, but yeah. Alright, so by the way, the NDB needle is going crazy, so I'm just going to put this to ant mode. So the needle should park at the 90 degrees position, which it isn't doing for whatever reason, because this is a Tupolev, so I'll be switching this to VOR1, so our needles coincide and we don't get the needles going left and right all the time. Alright, 49 kilometers, not that far away. Makes total sense to you, a Sync Crash Flyer. Oh yeah, the position of the switches. Absolutely. It's there because it's in the pilot's arm reach. Well, I know, but you know, these ones are also in the pilot's arm reach. Why not place them there? There should be a logic for it, and there is no logic for it, at least for me. If it were immediately available, one would become too lazy to search for it. Ah, my god, yes, I love that. I think that's the best excuse ever. The end. Oh my god, amazing. Fantastic, I am absolutely out of words. Jakub, try the Tupolev 154B2. Switches are better organized, still not a modern standard, but much better. Jakub, I flew the 154 on a very shameful stream because I ran out of the runway. That was a funny coincidence of action. So first thing is, I overflowed so I didn't let to go around that one because go figure. I guess my brain was too tired already after flying one leg. That was pretty intense, and we landed on a quite intense airport. So landing on a second intense airport would be even more difficult. And once we landed, I applied maximum braking, and my rudder pedals essentially turned 90 degrees. So I could only brake with 1 foot. So we lost 50% of braking action right there. And that was, we ran out, not by far, but we ran out. It was very, very shameful for me, to be fair. Alright, I'll drop the speed here to about 91, like that. And we'll be flying like this. Pretty good. Let's see, how far are we? Very close, in fact. So let's align the heading completely, and let's do heading switch. Let's do 357, correct? Yes, 357. Yeah, very close. It's a minimal, it's like a it's about a 30, it's actually, no, almost a 30, it's a 32 degrees change. So I'll wait until we get closer, and then I'll start the turn. So yeah, but yeah, Jacobs, I've flown the 154. And I thought about flying the 154 here on this flight. It's just that I don't remember how to fly the airplane, and when I started it was like, oh god, I don't want to remember it. And on the 134, probably because it's worse, I remember it. I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of like one. Alright, start the turn now. Because we should be just about approaching the cone of confusion. Just about. Yep, just switched now. And there goes the radios, so we need to set it by a little bit probably there. By a tiny bit. And then once it stabilizes a little bit more. Oh, not too bad. Look at that. Nope. Never mind. Alright, feels like it's stabilized. So perhaps I could already do this and this. Yep, fantastic. Okay, we've got 80 nautical miles to go. And next is going to be 113.4, so let me already pre-select that 113.4, same course. So I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. For now, at 40 miles out, I will be switching over to the other station. So let's see, 40 miles. This will be 74 kilometers. So at 74 kilometers, I'll be switching over to the other station. Glory to the 154. It's a fine plane. Walney, the layout of switches in the 134 might make sense when there were 4 crew members inside the cockpit and everyone knew what it needed to set up. It's possible, Walney. It's possible. It's possible. It's possible. I still think it could be better organized for the crew themselves to be a little bit more comfortable, but I don't know. Stormy, Charlie Yankee, Charlie Golf. That's noted. Thank you very much. Just an idea. No straight-in approaches in that airport for some challenge. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm looking for that. And even if the airport has no approaches at all, it's like a visual airport completely, I can take that one as well, so I'm up for some fun. Snacks, these on the roof are for the engineer only. Oh, I mean, yeah, that kind of makes sense, because when you are flying this airplane as a pilot and you want to do a good job, you really do have to focus only on flying. There is no space in your mind for switches. That's why I'm simplifying a lot of the stuff. And it's still pretty hazy. What is going on, man? What is going on with Vietnam? Anyways, we've got a little bit of time here. And already flew for 30. Wow. Okay, we're going very fast. So I guess this flight's going to go by very quickly. Half an hour already passed. So I wanted to talk a little bit about lift, guys, because this was the topic that won the reference for this live stream. And understanding the basics of lift is simple. It's not very complicated, and I hope you will get somewhat of an understanding of how it works. So if you were watching this at home, I'll be talking about an experiment, and I want you to do it as well. So if you can, while we start talking and listen all of this, go grab a piece of A4 paper, like small paper. It has to be straight, so it has to be like a new piece of paper, a document, whatever you have at home, and just leave it there next to you, because it's really impressive. When my principles of flight teacher showed me this the first time, I was like, what? That's incredible. So yeah, it's a really impressive thing. I actually will grab one for myself as well. I think I have one here on my table. It's not perfectly straight, but I think it will do the trick. Yeah, it kind of does the trick. Alright. So, to understand how lift is formed, we need to talk about air. And we already talked about air on the previous episodes. We talked on air in terms of meteorology, like the composition of air, that it can hold water, it can hold other particles, all of that. But one thing that we didn't mention, and this is actually important, well, air is a fluid, so we can almost imagine air as water, because we can see water, so it's a lot easier to see and understand water. So try to imagine air a little bit as water. So air as a fluid, it's a gas. I'm going to talk about it as a fluid. It has one very interesting property, and that particular property is that when it goes around an object, let's say you put your hand on it, the air that goes near your skin actually goes with it. So what I want to try to say, and we're reaching 74 kilometers a minute, this is going quick. Alright, stand by. Let me switch this to heading mode. No. I didn't want to do that. Crap. Okay. And, yeah, sorry, stand by. 113.4, 113.4. Let's see. And, yep, that's it. We are there. So, course. Good. So, let me open my beloved paint. And let me make sure that you can see it. So, let's, for instance, say, yeah, I think you can see it now. You put something on air. Like, I'm going to put, I don't know, this is a cylinder, a ball, whatever. Whatever air particles that's going to come by here, they're going to go around it, but instead of just doing this, they are going to do something around this. This is called the Coanda effect. Essentially, it sticks to a certain object, and this is very important because this is one of the properties that allows air to produce lift, how we use it, and when this breaks, actually gives you a large problem. And you probably can't imagine what happens when air essentially doesn't do this, but instead does this, but it kind of will do it like this. Okay? So, before we continue onwards, there's a certain theorem, or theory, that's called, I believe, Bernoulli theory, and it works the same as when you are watering your plants in your garden. So you're staying there with a hose, and you need to water the plants that are further away, but you don't have enough pressure from your I don't know, water pump or whatever for the water to heat those plants further away. So what do? You go with your finger and you partially cover the opening of the hose where the water is flowing out. And what will happen, right? The water will be much more accelerated and will be flying much further, right? So that's kind of what happens. So you've got your hose, right? There's water coming out of it. You put your finger and you cover part of it, and the flow of water accelerates. The same thing happens with air. So if I would put something called a Venturi tube, which is something like this, and you have a constant flow of air going through, what will happen is that when it passes through here, it will accelerate. So the speed, I'm going to put this as V, the speed will increase, the pressure will decrease, and the temperature will decrease as well. Instead of a D, I should put a T. Alright? Once the opening widens, the opposite happens. The speed slows down, pressure increases, temperature increases as well. And you might ask me, why is this so important? It's important because we have that pressure change. And in nature is always searching for equilibrium. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the following. I'm gonna draw you an airfoil. An airfoil is essentially an object that will create lift. So the airfoil is usually on a wing is like this. I'm doing a very, very basic drawing, okay? And it's like this with a purpose. If we would cut it in half about here, you would immediately see that there is an area, there, like one half of it, takes more space than the other half. So essentially, if you got air coming over here, and then air coming over here, the relative speeds of both air particles are going to be different, because the one that's on the top has a larger distance to go by. It will have to accelerate. And remember, it's not like these particles. Or you could ask me like, well, but why does it accelerate? Can't it just go over there? Well, no, remember that this is all filled with air, and air has pressure. Pressure is all around us. So you are right now sitting at your table. I don't know where you sit it, but all around you there's pressure being exerted, the atmospheric pressure. And this is the same thing. So air can't simply go out and change its direction. So this is what happens essentially. The air going over the wing, over the airfoil, will accelerate more than the air going below the wing. And as we spoke, the pressure in that case, because of the speed increase, the pressure will decrease. And when the pressure decreases, it will create a certain suction. Alright, so the nature will try to cover that up, to equalize. So the resultant will be that the pressure from down here will be trying to go upwards towards the low pressure. So if I put the low pressure here, the higher pressure, the normal pressure, will try to go up. Okay? And that is what will create lift. There's a very simple way to demonstrate this. And, oh, we already passed the VOR. Oh, crap. Alright, 006. Not too far off. Don't worry, guys. Course. Let's turn to 015. 006. Luckily, it's not too far off. And it's going to be 006 on this one as well. Should be fine. And I'm sorry, 114.4 will be the next one. So in order for me to not forget, there we go, pretty much established. So let's go this, back to the VOR. Airplane will be stabilizing itself onto 006. Very good. Okay. And just to see the distance, this is 123 miles, so slightly longer. 123. So let me see. I need my calculator. 123 times 1.852. This is 227 divided by 2. 113, so at 113 kilometers we switch over to the other VOR. Alright, so continuing onward. I was saying that there's a very simple way to demonstrate this. So pick up your A4 piece of paper. Okay, it has to be straight. And you're gonna grab it by the top end. Okay? And the back of it is going to fall ahead of you. So there will be like somewhat of an airfoil. So let's say it's going to be like this, okay? And you're going to grab it by here. So this is where your hands are going to be. So just grab it right here, okay? And what you will do is, you can even grab it like this, okay? And what you will do is you're going to blow over it. You're going to blow it right here, or you can blow it just slightly over the top of your paper sheet. And what I thought would happen is that, well, this is a very light sheet, right? It's a very tiny piece of paper. So when I'm going to blow over it, this is going to blow it even lower. Something's going to happen like this. It's going to go all the way like this, right? Try it. and see what happens. I'm not gonna tell it, so I want you to try it because it's really impressive to see it happening. I'm gonna try it myself as well. Yeah, it is impressive. I don't know, it's so fun, man. It is so fun. Pan me, how about IRL time night flying? I did already. It's pretty cool. Very nice. I enjoyed it very much. When I did my night rating, it was very, very enjoyable. Now we got some mountains ahead. Still hazy. Vietnam is really covering itself. That's a pedo, right? Maybe. But anyways, for those who can't try it, definitely do try it because it's really cool. But what will happen is that the entire sheet of paper, instead of going down, will go like this. Almost. Alright? And this is exactly what happens on the wings. The upper suction will push that object up, and that's how lift is created. And that's really, really impressive. Now, I need to watch the miles because we're already halfway there. So what happens next is we can transpose lift formula. Or before I talk about the lift formula, I can talk a little bit more. So we've got the airfoil, right? And we've got this force that's pushing it upwards. And I can say that, to simplify things, of course, all this force acts on one single point, and we call it the center of pressure. So if we would be a scientist or whatever, we can summarize all of the forces that are actively present on a wing when it's flying, and all those forces act on a point called the center of pressure. Okay, so this is very important, and the center of pressure can change position. It will also dictate whether the plane will have a nose-up attitude or a nose-down attitude. How that can happen? Well, imagine that your CG, I'm going to draw the CG like this, is behind the center of pressure. What will happen? As the lift pushes it up, it will rotate around the CG, right? So the result is going to be around, because everything on the airplane rotates around the CG. This is the same as you hold the pen with two fingers. If you're holding the pen with two fingers, where you're holding the pen is where the CG is. If the center of pressure is ahead, the pen goes up, right? If the CG, or if the center of pressure is backward, the nose will drop. This is one of the very important things that we can get from this. Alright, but we're going to talk more about the center of pressure and all of that later on a further topic on the cruise. So I'm going to skip that, and I'm going to go straight for how lift is represented. So the lift formula goes as this. There is lift equals to 1/2 of density, air density, okay, times CL. This is called the coefficient of lift. Stand by on that. Times the speed squared times the area of the wings. Okay, so to simplify, I'm going to put this as density. This is going to be CL, may stand for angle of attack. Speed is speed. You can immediately see that it's extremely important because it is squared. So whatever effect speed will have, it is squared. So let's say you double your speed, it influences 4 times the amount of lift that you produce on a wing. Alright? And finally, the area of the wing. Now, we usually don't talk much about the density of the air because we can't really control the density of the air. Of course, we can go either higher or lower, Or on a hot day, for instance, there's less density, therefore less lift. On a cold day, more density, more lift. But we don't usually control it, so we kind of don't talk about it too much. Angle of attack. What is angle of attack, guys? And I didn't pick the 134 by chance. I picked it because we have something here that's very, very cool. It is an angle of attack indicator, and we will be first understanding the formula, understanding how it works, and then we're going to transpose and use it on the angle of attack, which is really cool. So what is the angle of attack? Back to the paint. So you have your wing, or let's say you have your airplane. I'm going to draw a very simple airplane. Okay, bear with me. There are two wings here. Tail. This here, oh god. And the airplane is flying with a nose up attitude. This is your pitch, okay? This here, I'm going to put it brown. This is going to be the horizon. I'm going to put here pitch. It's a bit turbulent. Let's put the seatbelt sign on. 112, and we want it to turn by 113, so it's time to turn. Is the heading synchronized? More or less so, yes. So let's do this. 114.4 and 114.4.006. Let's see, it's reading correctly, and we are there. So back to course and back to course. Next one is going to be still Da Nang 377. 377. 337. What the hell? There was no 377. Alright. So, where was I? Yes, so we have that. And then you have something called the relative flow. So, remember the drawing I did with the air that was going straight for that airfoil? The direction at which that relative flow is coming is very important. So I'm going to put here relative airflow. So the big one between the pitch and the horizon is going to be your pitch angle. But the angle between the pitch and the relative airflow, or the trajectory, should I call it there? Wait, oh no, wait. Am I mistaking something? I think I'm mistaking something. Stand by. I just had a brain fart. No, the relative airflow is fine. Yeah, exactly, because the relative airflow should be always parallel to the horizon. I really had a brain fart now. But then you can have your pitch, and then you have your actual direction. Whatever the bird is on the Airbus, alright, or the flight path vector, this is what you fly. And this is going to be your angle of attack. This right here. Okay? Why is it so important? Because angle of attack has a very significant effect on lift. It is also important to understand that angle of attack, we can transpose it to a graph, kind of like this. If I put like CL, AOA, and then CL, or vice versa. It should be vice versa, it's CL, AOA. So what this means is, until a certain angle of attack, you are increasing your coefficient of lift, so that means you are generating more lift, right? So this goes up. But when you get to a certain point, which is right here, which usually on most airplanes is between 16 to 18 degrees of angle of attack, you reach your critical angle of attack, and that's where you produce the maximum amount of lift But at the same time, if you go past it, you enter the stall. Alright? And what is the stall? The stall is, I'm going to try to draw a very high angle of attack. So let's say our relative airflow is going from here, right? And we're going like this. Or no, wait. It's the pitch and relative airflow. I'm kind of confused. I need to revise that anyways. But the angle is very large. The air that's coming and hitting your airflow, your airfoil, will be going like this. It will have to go all the way around the airfoil, right? Because it wants to stick to whatever object it's going by. But then it loses a lot of energy, and once it loses that energy, it can't fly by the airfoil like this. So what happens is that it goes like this, and then it just shears off. And this is what happens on the stall. This is what happens on the stall. In fact, very, very simple. We can go to YouTube, and I can probably search airfoil stall. You can watch it with streamlines, and you will be able to see it. As you can see the lines, the smoke lines, you can see that that is where the lower pressure comes by. This is where the air kind of goes from one side to another side. And look, there's the increasing angle of attack. You can see how it affects. And once you increase it more and more, you produce more lift, sure, but then look at what's happening with the air. The more you increase, the more turbulent it becomes, and once it detaches, that's when you are stalled. This is a stalled condition. You have not enough speed. This is an incredible video. I'm gonna put the like on this. So yeah, you got this. And now probably, if you're looking at this and paying attention, you might think, well, Vlad, but then anything can have an angle of attack, like my hand out of the window of a car can have angle of attack, and I will say absolutely true. That's absolutely true. In fact, there is a thing. I didn't draw the airfoil like that on purpose. So the airfoil that I drew was like this, right? I'm overdoing it. When we divide it by half, the upper area is larger than the lower one. And this is what's called the positively cambered airfoil, because the increase of this area right here, is called camber. So if you have a perfectly symmetrical airfoil like this, it has no camber. So it means that the zero angle of attack, it will produce no lift, because it doesn't have any difference of pressure. The top part is exactly the same as the lower part, while on the top one, the air will have to go by a quicker speed than on the lower side. And then you can have a negative cambered airfoil, which is the exact opposite of the top one. And this is what's usually used on the tailplane. If you don't know what a tailplane is essentially... Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm trying to draw a very simple plane. So this is the wing. This here is the tailplane. And why is that? Negative camber will produce the opposite effect on lift. So instead of going up like it would go on a positive one, right? So it produces lift up. This one will produce lift down and will push down. And that's on purpose, guys, because the CG usually on airplanes is behind the center of pressure. So the center of pressure of the wings pushes the airplane nose up, and you really don't want to have just a nose up attitude. You want to have a balance of things. So you need something to push the opposite way, and that's why you have this to cancel the effect. Anyways, I'm diverging. I'm doing a lot of stuff in the middle, but essentially, formula of lift. Okay, let's get back to the formula of lift. So lift equals 1/2 of the density times speed squared times CL times the area of the wings. So if we forget about these, we forget about these, and we focus on this, we can understand a lot of the things happens. First things first, when we're flying straight, and today I'm only gonna fly about straight flight. Are we there already? Yeah, 10 kilometers. Jesus Christ, this thing is fast. Let's go heading. And let's go to 337. Start to turn already. We're not too far off already, are we? Passing over Da Nang. This one is going to be long. 285 miles. Yeah, this one is the longest one. 285, 285. This is 527 kilometers, so we need to change roughly around 263. 263, that's noted. Did I turn too early? Also, do we need to align the gyro? Probably, yeah, yep. 16. Actually, I can just do this and this. So 16, let's just quickly align the gyro. 16 is right here. I can actually leave it there. So let's do this. That's aligned. That one doesn't want to work. Alright. Should be nice and aligned now. Down to 337. And we are off. I'm gonna already just pre-select the next frequency, 115.5. So I don't forget it. 115.5. Okay. Back to it. So, on a straight level flight, there are 4 forces acting. So let's assume that this is an airplane, a very simple one. Okay, there is lift, there is weight of the airplane, there is thrust, and there is drag. Okay, on a level flight with a constant speed, lift equals weight, and Jesus Christ, drag. And thrust equals drag. If you want to increase your speed, thrust will have to overcome drag. If you want to decrease the speed, thrust will become less than drag. But unless you keep, but if you keep your altitude the same, lift always equals weight. So you have to keep a certain amount of lift, always, and that's when you come back to here. And so you can see it happening when we get lower. I'm going to do this on purpose because on high altitudes with high airspeed, Mach numbers, all that stuff, there is a whole new chapter of principles of flight about that. High speed flight, Mach number, shock waves, etc., etc. We're going to talk about that perhaps later. That becomes a little bit different. It's not that it's completely different, but it's different enough that we have to account for some other stuff, so I don't want to talk about it now. But when we're going to descend lower, and I want to do an early descent today, I'm going to level off on purpose, and we will be slowing down the airplane on level flight, so our speed will be decreasing, and you will be seeing our angle of attack increasing. And you can immediately see how that works. In fact, the angle of attack tool, or the indicator, is such a powerful indicator that you can fly only by angle of attack, and you can understand a lot of the things just by looking at angle of attack, the way you change pitch because you're changing angle of attack, the way you add flaps, add spoilers, add slats, all that stuff. So it is really, really cool. And yeah, I think this is kind of like what's basic in principles of flight, how lift is created, how it works, and what's the interaction between speed, angle of attack, all that stuff. Alright, I think that's good for now. I hope you enjoyed this TED talk. We almost missed a couple of runs there. 337 is set. We are flying not exactly 337. That's probably due to wind. So it's alright. It seems like it's a bit turbulent. We're over the water now. And it's still hazy. What is going on today? I was really expecting to see some scenery, but I guess just not. But you can see barely down there, very barely. Outside view, by the way. The mountains are cool, but we can't even see them properly. Anyway. Walney, are you going to also talk about the ground effect? Yes. It could be actually a topic for a future stream. Walney, the glider pilots, at least in Poland, train the stall and the recovery from them. Absolutely. Everybody trains stall and recovery. We do that on airplanes. All pilots do that because it's extremely important as a pilot to understand what a stall is, what happens on the airplane, what do you feel, and how to recover from it. Because if you never do that, if it ever happens to you, the chances are you're gonna do it, or it's gonna happen on a very, very bad timing. Probably low to the ground. Perhaps when a lot of stuff is happening, you're not paying attention, and the time for you to recover from it is very, very minimal. So it is very, very important for you to understand. And also, a stall, like, I can't explain this, but it is quite aggressive. Like, when a proper stall happens, it is quite aggressive on your body, the way it happens, because you fall out of nothing. And I remember the first time I tried practicing, I had a mission. It was practice stall recovery, understanding all of that, so we climbed a little bit higher on purpose. And I was there with my instructor. He's like, okay, take the power out, push the nose, hold the altitude, don't let the altitude go down, because otherwise the airplane will recover, alright? Because if you let it descend, it will always try to keep a little bit of that angle of attack for you to keep flying. But if you force it, you will force the stall. We can actually, there is a perfect plane to demonstrate all of this. And maybe, just maybe, maybe I'll do a little stream that's unplanned on it, and I will demonstrate all of that. So, and by the way, flight controls are winning, so that would be the best plane to talk about flight controls as well. And so the first time I was doing it, I couldn't do it properly. I was trying to hold the altitude, and then the plane would just drop the nose gently down. So it would happen very smoothly. Like, okay, I don't want to climb. It just drops the nose, and then it's back flying again. And he was like, no, that's not it. You have to force it. So he went to my controls, and he held the plane like much more aggressively than I did. And dude, I was seeing full sky out of the cockpit, and like in a second it was a click. I was seeing ground, like boom. And that was quite scary, I have to admit. That was like it's like sky, ground. So yeah, if something like that happens at a lower altitude, man, the time for you to recover is very minimal. And then you spoke about the flat spins. So flat spins, first, flat spins is not something you want to try to do, because flat spins are actually something hard to recover from, okay? Because if your airplane is not exactly designed to do that, the highest chance is that you don't even recover. So if you are, let's say, flying on a normal airplane and you enter a flat spin, you have a higher chance of not recovering at all. So that's not something we practiced. I didn't practice flat spins, and I didn't practice full spins. I practiced what's called the incipient spin. So you force the plane into a spin, and you do half a turn and you recover. Because on the airplane we practiced it on, I don't know, but the instructor told me that it's better not to try it because it's too dangerous. And it's very aggressive as well, because all of us, it falls very quickly and then it starts turning very, very sharply. So you can get like a pretty significant scare out of it. Yeah, Walney, if I do that stream that I just spoke about, I will do all of it, and I'll show. We're going to talk about flight controls on a cruise. I'll show you the effect of flight controls. We'll see what are the effects on all of those. I'll show the spins. I'll show the not exactly the flat spin, but a spin. What are the effects? What happens? All of that. A normal stall. How to recover, etc., etc. So that's. Sync Fresh Flyer, let's stall the 134. Ha! So now we're talking about this and we have some time on the cruise. Let me just check. We're 130. Man, this plane is flying blooming fast. Do we have a tailwind? I think we might have a tailwind. We might have a tailwind because this is just going crazy. I mean, I don't mind it, but it's... I mean, no, we should be having like a small headwind, very minimal. Maybe it's because we have zero wind, essentially. That's 30 knots side wind. I don't know. Anyway, speaking of that, stand by. No, that's all correct. So the way airplanes stall is different. It depends on the shape of the wing. I'll demonstrate that to you. I mean, I'll not demonstrate, but I'll draw. So back to paint, back to the whiteboard again. So I didn't revise this topic, but there is a square wing, there is an elliptical wing, and there is the sweep back wing. And the sweep back wing is, well, it's this, okay? It's like that for a purpose, and the purpose is very interesting. Physically, the wing accounts, I mean, I'll have to simplify this, but okay, stick with me for this one. It's going to be a little bit complex, but I'll try to make it simple. So remember I said about the airfoil, right? That the air that goes over the airfoil goes faster than below the airfoil. That creates a difference of pressure, essentially a suction, and that generates lift, okay? Are you with me? So, fast forward. If we fly really fast, fighter jet, most jet airplanes, what are we flying? Airspeed, like indicated airspeed, or we flying Mach number? We're flying Mach number, right? And what is Mach number? Mach number is through airspeed divided by local speed of sound. Okay, so it's essentially a percentage of the local speed of sound. So let's say your Mach number. If your Mach number is 0.9, that means you're flying at the 90% of the local speed of sound, because the speed of sound changes with temperature. Okay, so think with me for a second. What is a shock wave? A shock wave is, well, essentially it's when air is moved way too fast and it essentially is hitting one particle by another. It's kind of like, it's a shock. I don't know how to explain it properly, but you kind of can't imagine particles moving, or an object moving so fast that it's hitting air particles so quickly, so aggressively, that they do not have enough time to react, to move, to all of that. That adds a lot of drag, by the way. So, stick with me. So imagine you're flying at this speed, right? And look for a second at your wing. So this is your wing, right? You're flying at a local speed, so or a normal speed of 0.9. So your relative airflow is going at a speed of 0.9. Once it goes by your wings, the upper side is going to go even faster because of the way the airfoil is created, right? So what will happen is that you'll have a local speed that might be higher. In fact, it might be so higher that it can create a small shockwave. And you can see it, like if you search on the internet, apart from the stupid videos, you can see shockwave formation. It's very thin, but you can see it. It's like you can barely see it. You have to see the video yourself. I don't want to. Yeah, you can see there. The shockwave is forming there, and that has consequences. Okay, it has consequences, especially for the drag and other stuff in flight. This is absolutely normal, and that's why you have three flight types. You have the subsonic, which goes below speed of sound. You have the transonic, which is where jet airplanes fly, because while still subsonic, parts of the airplane can be supersonic, so above the speed of sound or at the speed of sound. And then there are the supersonic airplanes, like jet fighters, Concorde, Tupolev 144, which actually fully flies above the speed of sound. Okay, so where I was going with all of this? Okay, and yes, so you've got this, and there is a very interesting how should I say it, condition, is that you have this problem, right? So you're flying at 0.9, the air over your wings is at 0.97 or at 1 or whatever, and it's creating, it's even called, it's the critical Mach number, I believe. It's when you at that, I think it's critical Mach number. It's when you, at your airframe somewhere locally the speed of sound is reached. So that's the critical Mach number. I think it's the critical one. Might be wrong. And there is a second one which I can't remember again. It's the drag divergence number. It's the first goes the critical, and then there's the Mach divergence. Forget about it for now. But yes. Anyways, so we continue onward. You have this problem. So if you look at the wing, I'm going to do a very basic squared wing. You have certain speed. Let's imagine that this is the vector of speed. So this is the amount of speed that there is, okay? The wing takes into account always the speed that is parallel to the direction of movement, or the direction of the airflow, let's call it that way. So if you have a sweepback wing like this, okay, it will actually not take the full component of the airspeed. So let's say this is the full component, or if I do it probably like this would be the most correct option. It will only take the one that's perpendicular to the leading edge. Yes, sorry, it's this one. So the Jesus Christ, it's hard to change words in the meantime. So let me reformulate what I just said. So the speed component has to be always taken from the perpendicular side of the wing. So this is what you need. This is the speed of the airflow. It has to be 90 degrees to the leading edge. Okay? So if you're still going like this, what your wing sees is this, because it wants the 90 degrees. And as you can see, the vector is much smaller, and because the vector is much smaller, that means, funnily enough, you can go faster until a shockwave is formed. However, coming back to the stalling part, usually the wing will start to stall. A rectangle wing will stall from the middle. Gonna stall from where along here. So the stall is gonna propagate from here, from here, and then it's gonna stall completely, like the area is affected. The elliptical wing stalls symmetrically, so it affects the entire wing in a similar way. So when it happens, it's very abrupt. The sweepback wing is the worst possible wing to be stalled because it starts from the wing tip. So the stall happens from here and it starts to progress. So what do you lose first? What do you have at the end of your wing? Ailerons. So you lose aileron effectivity immediately. That's one problem. The second problem is, we talked about center of pressure, guys. Right? So imagine the center of pressure is the total lift that's produced on this wing, and it's represented as 1 point, okay? So let's say it's right here. And now let's imagine you start to stall the wing, so you start to lose lift from this area right here. So the total area of the wing that's producing lift is going to decrease. And what do you think will happen to that point? It will start to go forward. And what will happen if that point was going to go forward? You will want to have an even higher, or the result will have an even higher nose-up condition. So your airplane is stalling, but instead of the nose falling down, the nose is going up. So this is especially critical on airplanes like this one, because then there is the third problem. Okay, so you are stalling. Crap. So you are stalling. Let me do the following thing. I'll try to do this. I'm gonna take a screenshot of the plane, which is looking pretty nice. How far are we? 263. Perfect. 263. Let's switch very quickly to the next VOR. Back to heading. 115.5. 115.5. Let's check. Yep. Perfect. Switch this to VOR and VOR. So go back to paint. So there's this thing. You are losing lift because the wing is stalling from the tip. You lost your ailerons. The center of pressure is moving forward. Because your CG is backward, the airplane will want to rotate nose up, right? And look at what happens. Let me try to post the picture here. Oh boy, it's huge. So I'll try to do it simple. So, I don't think I'll be able to do it. Okay, screw it. So, I'll have to do drawing. It's fine. So what will happen is, you have your airplane like this. You get it, right? So this is the top part, like this part right here. So your angle of attack is very high, the wings are stalled. I'm going to put some stall here. Your angle of attack to the relative airflow is very high. And remember what happened to all of that air that wasn't attached, or wasn't attaching to the top side of the wing. It was going like this, right? As it progresses, you want to recover your airplane. So what do? You want to push nose forward. And how? Well, to recover, you push nose forward. Your elevator will move down for you to recover. Guess what? This air will be going over your elevator, rendering it useless. So there you are on your 134, on your Citation, whatever other airplane, Phenom 300s, etc., etc., in a nose-up position, in a completely irrecoverable stall. I believe I saw somewhere on a video when they were testing it was either a Tupolev 154 or a 134. They were testing its stall, and what they did, they had a parachute on the backside of the airplane, because the parachute, when deployed, would force the plane to put the nose down, so it would function as an anchor to recover from the stall. Otherwise it's completely irrecoverable. So this is why sweepback airplanes, especially high-mounted tailplanes, are a deadly trap. And that's why That's why there is something called as a stick pusher. Other airplanes can recover. Like 737 has a stick shaker. It will start to shake when the airplane is close to stall. The Phenom, one of the tests that you do is the stick pusher. So you will see the stick or the yoke moving forward by itself. That's called the stick pusher. That's a stall protection. Because the airplane itself, when sensing that you are approaching a stall, because they coded it and they know that if you enter a proper stall, it will be impossible to recover, the airplane forces the nose down. And somebody told me it's physically impossible to counter the stick pusher. It is so strong to force the airplane nose down. It's completely impossible to counteract it. So yeah, there's that. There is that. We're gonna talk about these flight control stuff later on. Said this, now I'm kind of curious to see if on the Phenom 300 you approach the stall, will the stick pusher actually work? If it will actually push the airplane nose down or not. Right, how are we looking? We're looking pretty cloudy down there, but that's, at this part of where we're flying, I was expecting clouds, so this is actually fine. As long as we don't have clouds on our arrival airport, and our arrival airport doesn't have any METAR. So that's interesting as well. We'll have to see what X-Plane will put up for us. That'll be interesting. For sure. Jacob, how does this relate to forward sweep wing? Oof, that's a good question. We talked about it very minimally because it's a very unpopular design and essentially there is no commercial airplanes with it. But I would assume it's kind of the same, but I don't know. I don't know. To be fair, I don't know. And I can tell you even more. This thing, that's the wing stall from the tip, is so significant that even on some smaller airplanes, in order for the airplane to stall from the wing route, so you keep your aileron effectiveness, they on purpose worsen the airfoil or the wing characteristics so that it stalls from the wing route, so closer to the fuselage, and the airplane will actually stall before it reaches the ailerons. So it's quite interesting that way. And that was a long TED talk. Are we 189? 189. I think we can now relax a little bit. Maybe ask for a coffee from Susie. I don't drink coffee. Something better. I don't know. Maybe a cup of water or some tea. Perhaps with a brownie. Yeah, that would be not too bad. That would be not too bad. Okay, now we are... Where are we? Where are we? We spoke about a lot of stuff today. So we're flying inbound Nam Ha Hanoi, VOR, and from there we're going to be proceeding to Macau and DV, and from there we'll be flying towards Nasan, and from Nasan it's Bravo Quebec. We'll be jumping into our arrivals. So I'm already thinking ahead, and we'll be doing the Bravo Quebec to Foxtrot arrival to Dock Sig above flight level 120. This is what I want to do to demonstrate you the angle of attack with the speed difference. So we're going to lower down to flight level 120, and we'll be showing you that once we level off. So transition level of 100. So let's already study the charts. I don't know why that's enabled. I'm so annoying to constantly need to disable that. It's really annoying. So we go to Dock Sig. From Dock Sig on 132 we turn inbound. We join the 16.2 DME arc, and then we turn towards the right on a final approach course. This is going to be 348, and then we descend down. And then we have two minimas. The missed approach climb gradient minimum 4% and 2.5%. Okay, because as you can imagine by the colors of the chart, there's quite a lot of terrain around here. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting approach. I was thinking between doing this and this one, but this one is going to take us more time. We're going to spend more fuel. I don't really think we're going to need it. The challenge as well is going to be planning our arrival, because we essentially have two NDBs here by which we're going to be guiding ourselves, and between NDBs we don't have a distance reference, so there is no exact way to tell us like, hey, you are this high or you are this low. And in fact, we're not going to have an exact reference until probably reach Nassau, because that's where we will be more or less direct with the VOR, even though I don't think we'll be catching it up, because there are all of these mountains, and as you can see, or as you know, or maybe you don't know, but VOR frequencies, radio waves, operate on the principle of a line of sight. So if you don't see the VOR from your airplane, you will not receive the signal from the frequency. It's line of sight, so if there is a mountain in front of the VOR, you will not have any VOR information. So, yeah. Alright, how far are we? 144. I need to do a very quick toilet break, so you guys please watch the airplane for me. I'll be back in 5 minutes. And I'm back. Okay. All seems good. 76 kilometers to go. I mean, it still feels weird to say kilometers instead of miles. But yeah, T-Fox 737. Hey, great to see you here. I just got myself a brownie. I stole it from Susie. She wanted to get me, but I closed the cockpit door, so got there in time. Pretty good. Alright, we need to plan ahead, because now let's focus on flying, get a little bit ahead of the airplane, think ahead as well. So next course is going to be 290. 290, 115.5. Yeah, we'll be passing not too far off from Hanoi. I don't know if we'll be able to see it now. It's still quite hazy out there. Even though we can see a little bit better, we have this beautiful window. Did they really put this carpet here? I just now noticed this carpet. What? This is babushka carpet. Babushka means granny in Russian. So it fits perfectly here. Fantastic. Anyway, I think we should also realign the gyro. 19.9, we are approaching 20, and I know that our destination is at 21. So perhaps I could already do a 21 even. 21, let's align. It's a very minimal. Alright, there we go. T-Fox, still confused, where is my daily dose of kvass? Jesus, I hate that drink. I don't know, I hate it. I can't drink it. But I know a lot of people loves it, like my father loves it. You can drink that forever. I hate that. Holy cow, it's terrible. My girlfriend is pointing that she likes it. Oh no. Alright, 337 flying good. No, the brownie is really good now. Got some sugar in my brain. We're ready for the approach. So I'd love to see the outside air temp. Is this it? Yeah, it is. Minus 10, 20, 30, minus 34, I would say. Yeah, minus 34 outside air temp. So, my CRP file I could count what's the outside air temp. And I can't see what's going to be our true airspeed. So minus 35, we're at flight level 310. So yeah, I'm just doing this wrong. It only goes to 30. Okay, minus 35, I'll do it 30. And let's see. So my Mach number. I think I'm reading this wrong. Pretty sure I'm reading this wrong. It's 30, 31 minus 35, minus 34. Did I forget how to do this? No, it should be like this. Minus 35. 1 should be outside. This is wrong. Or is it 600 and something? I need to make the calculation later. So if it's 640 knots, then our total airspeed should be 440. Let's see. I believe the map shows it 401 knots true, but that's ground speed, so that's incorrect. If we have this headwind, actually makes sense. We're 11 kilometers. This change of heading is going to be slightly significant, so let's do this and let's switch to 290. 290 set. Based on bread, I think. Polish, I think, or is it a different thing? I think it's the same thing. It should be the same thing. Away from it. Yeah, 440. Okay. I remember now how to do it. Seems about right. I mean, I could convert also the indicated. Indicated is like 255. So let's see. 255. Ah, no, never mind. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, wait. Yeah, now I got it right. So it should be 600 and it should be 420. It should be 420. There we go. Sorry, I was doing it wrong. 420 and yeah, we're not catching that. Need to get that course. So 420, and if I do it the other way, so our indicated, first things first, we need to check 310 and minus 35. Should give absolutely the same. We are at 250, 255, yep, 420, exactly the same, got it. And we are intercepting, so I can put this back to course, and we are in. Now, on this one, we have 84 miles to go. And we'll be flying to the NDB, which will be 514. So let's change that, 514. Or, you know what, I'll leave this on channel 1, and on channel 2, I'll put already 349, which is going to be the next one. So that's set, and I want this to arc 2, which makes total sense. Which makes absolute sense. And we need to plan our descent, which is going to be a little bit interesting to do so. Okay, so let's see. I want to level off until reaching Dock 6, so we have a little bit of time for you guys to see the angle of attack in action when we try to maintain the same altitude and we trade off speed by angle of attack and vice versa, okay? So let's say I want to have 10 miles from Dock 6, 10 miles from Dock 6, so that will be plus 4, that's 32 miles from the sand. So let's start writing 32 miles from the sand. right. Okay, but at 12. We need to be at 12. We are 31. 31 minus 12 will be... Jesus Christ, my math. Come on. 31 minus 12 will be 19. Jesus. Yep, 19. 19 times 3 will be 57. Yes, 57. I'll add 10 miles, or I mean, we have a headwind, right? We do have a headwind there. Yeah, we do have a headwind. Even on lower levels, still a headwind. So 57. Yeah, 57 should be fine. So 57. But that will be... So we have 32. Let's put 57 here. That'll be 32. 57 minus 32 will be 35. Correction, 25. So 25, and then 25 miles from Nassan we have to start descending. So that will be 35 miles from Nassan. 35. So the leg is 44. So it's 9 miles from Macau. So we've got here 84 plus 9 will be 93. 93 from Nahbiwar. 93 nautical miles is 172 kilometers. So this is where we start our descent. So that's planned. Top of descent is planned, and we're going to go down to level 120 non-stop on an idle. On an idle, then we'll have enough time to test all the other stuff. Now, next thing. Nassan, we fly to Gupet and then to Doksig. Doksig is 132. I need the distances though. So Doksig is at 21.6 DME. So 21.6 is 40 kilometers. I feel like this procedure was actually designed, and the other one in Ho Chi Minh City was designed in kilometers, because it's literally giving me almost ground numbers. 16.2 DME arc is 30 kilometers dead. So we need to anticipate this. Let's say we're going to fly 200 knots. 2 miles before, so 30 plus 2 times this. We're going to enter at 34. 34 is entry. Okay, sounds good to me. Now, we have a leading radial of 161, but said that we are 16 out. That means it's 15. Let's say we are 200 knots, so that's 60 divided by 15 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. We want to be 148 plus minus 8. Okay, the 161 actually does work, so we'll use the 161. And then we'll intercept this accordingly. On the arc, we maintain, I believe, the 12. We descend. It is not specified here, but it looks like we descend to 7. Because it's 16.2, we are at 7, and we descend to 5 to 50. And then it's mandatory at 9, so we're going to have to convert all of this to kilometers. So 16.2, no, 16.2 is the DME arc, never mind. So that's 30 kilometers, 7,000. Dan, 4.6. No, we'll have to descend more than that. Oh no. the hell? Why is there 4.6 here? Makes no sense. Is it the distance to the point? To 20? Huh? I'm not understanding this chart. Yeah, this is 4.6, but what's the point? To 9 DME. What? Why didn't just put the distances, the normal numbers? What? So it's 13.6, which is 25. 25 we want to be at 6,200. At 11.5, which is 21, we want to be at 5.6, not less than that. At 9, Jesus Christ, what the hell was that? Which is at 17 roughly. We will be at 5 to 50 mandatory, and from there we're going to start a descent. 3.1, which is at roughly 6, 3, 7, 80, and then I believe we can comply until the minimums, which is at 2 miles, missed approach point, which is 4 kilometers, roughly 2,880. We comply with that. Full percent. Okay, that's set. It's a 3.5 descent. That sounds good to me. 1,302. Yeah, I'll have to go up by the altimeter. Okay, focus now. 84 miles. 84 miles is 155 kilometers. Not too far, so we're almost at the NDB, at the first one. So we're getting there. I'm going to keep this one. Actually, I don't need to keep this one. I can already pre-select the approach NDB, and we need to start the approach briefing. Let's set 113.6. And I'll set up the final approach course, which is 348 here, so that I can remember it. Alright, that's set. And we are almost there. As I turn towards the NDB, I will probably... In fact, you know what? I'll do the following. I'm going to do it like this. Heading mode for now, put arc 2 or arc 1 on this one. I'll put the second, which is gonna be 349, because essentially we're just gonna fly by it, which is right here, 349. But I will have to switch it over. Wait, or maybe not. Let's see, 349. See if it does make any sense. Okay, it works. Okay, good. So we can fly like this. Fine. 155, 10 kilometers to go. Course should be 304. It fits. And we'll be flying direct to there. And from there it's going to be interesting. Alright guys, very quick, very super quick arrival briefing. I don't know if we can see the weather in Dien Bien. Oh yes, we can. Fantastic. I'll have to do it this way. Okay, 0804 knots. Fantastic. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 17. Dew point. QNH 1014. Beautiful. So 1014 is expected. All is looking good. Let's do, as I'm gonna turn now, heading to 304. I'll do 300 even. Or 302 due to the wind. Otherwise we'll be blown out. There we go. We passed the station. That's good. I can prepare now again, man, on 113.6 here as well. Ah, no, wait. I need to keep it. I need to keep it for the... No, I don't need it. Never mind, it's not coupled. 113.6. And 132. 132? No, can't be. 312. Set. Alright, we need to reset the NDB. For now, I'm just watching this, because we need our top of descent, and top of descent is 172, so not too far off. In fact, we're not flying to the NDB, that looks good. And why our heading is all... What's going on now? Is the gyro broken? Oh yeah, gyro is all... There we go. Now we're flying nicely. Alright, 170, 172 will be starting our descent. Seatbelt sign is on, I believe. Yes, it is. Fantastic. Do we have a descent checklist? Alright, hydraulic pressure. We're just gonna charge it. Anyway, descent. I'm gonna initiate in a second. Minimums is 2,880 plus 50, so I'll do that. 2,930 is operational. Landing pressure, yeah, I'm just gonna disregard that. Transmission altitude will be set 10,000, all that stuff. Okay, let's go down. Power to idle. And that's good. Down we go. Okay, and the view is a little bit towards the side. Let's turn more towards it. Okay, very, 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 very quickly we do the arrival briefing, because I felt like we kind of slept through it. So I'm falling behind the airplane, and just so we have a clear picture of what's going on, I'm going to try and make a proper job here. Right, so status looking all good. Weather is fantastic at our arrival airport. No temps are fine. No anti-ice, no radar terrain. Top of descent already started. We are going to be arriving via the Bravo Quebec to Foxtrot arrival. This is page 10-2 Bravo. Essentially very simply transition level, flight level 100. And for Bravo Quebec, we intercept bearing 282 to Cockpit, and then to correction 266 to Cockpit, then to Doxic. At our flight level 120, will be leveling off slightly before Doxic. As we cross Doxic above level 120, we intercept the inbound course 312, inbound to VOR, and we will be turning at 34 kilometers towards the left to enter the 30 kilometers DME arc, and to execute the VOR X-ray approach running 35, page 13-3, which is fantastic. MSA is very high, 9,200 on the northern segment sector, 7,900 on the southern sector. I'm also thinking I'm descending a bit too fast. So, there goes that. I should be watching that needle. Right now we're homing. We're homing in it not too much, it's 44 kilometers only, so we'll be soon over that NDB. Alright, so yeah, we entered the arc, and then on the 161, which is going to be 341, we're going to turn inbound for the 348 and descend. On the arc, we descend to 7,000 feet, and turning towards the right, we initiate descent towards 6,200 and 5,600, and then we'll level at 5,250, mandatory by 9 miles of the VOR, at which point we'll start at 3.5 degrees descent. At our speed, I anticipate it's going to be above 140 or 160 even. It's roughly 10,000 feet per minute, so we'll be looking at that. Minimas, again, as already mentioned, that's fine. Missed approach, quite interesting. Maintain final approach track, passing the VOR, return right, climb 6,000 outbound on the 046, max to 15 knots due to the rain, and then turn right, intercepting bound 066 at 8,000 or above. Join above the VOR and then try another one. Have enough fuel, that looks all good. We will land flaps full, manual braking, max reverse. I'll have to deploy the speed brakes manually And there is only one taxiway to vacate, which is Echo 2, and we'll vacate to any stand of choice. No abnormals, all looks good. That's a very quick arrival briefing complete. Let's now focus on the plane. We should be soon to be passing the NDB, like very, very soon. Proper NDB flying. Oh my god. Okay. We're all good. Following the orange needle. For now, speed is fine, all is fine, all is good. And we're starting to enter the sunset time. Finally the weather has cleared out. Perhaps I need to put some lighting on, because it will get dark. It will get dark soon. Where is this one on the back here? I don't remember. I feel like they should have lighting here. A lighting switch. Alright, never mind. I feel like the wind has pushed us quite significantly out of track. But we should be just, like, passing very, very soon. Alright, 113.6. 113.6 is set. And I'll put this one to the VOR 1. Tell me I'm doing this right. I should be passing it now. Okay, good. Fine. Decided to check. 266 is what we need. 266, so I'll do an initial intercept. 236. About there. Actually, we are about on it. The turn errors are amazing on the NDB. Essentially the needle will follow your direction. You need to wait for wings level to actually see the needle. Alright, we are on 256. Yeah, I overdone it. Let's fix it. Still descending pretty fast. Lower my descent rate a little bit. Alright, and QNH 1014 is 760, so essentially the same. Okay, there we go, now we're on it. Almost. Yeah, 266, now we're on it. Somewhere along it. 93 miles out of the VOR. It's good that we already are receiving coverage of the VOR, that's pretty good. But it's difficult to understand. Walney, I just realized you haven't used the auto thrust. Yep, no auto thrust for me. Martin, hey, how are you doing? Walney, minimum set, I don't see it set on your radio altimeter. You know that radio altimeter is only for precision approaches, like category 2. You don't use the radio altimeter to indicate your minimums, because your terrain can be wrong. We talked about it. I believe I explained that before. So you have to look at via the altimeter. Radio altimeter will not work for that. What if you have a sloped terrain? It will give you a wrong indication. You can bust your minimus and actually be quite close to terrain, which is deadly. You don't want to do that. So interestingly enough, they stayed flaps 10 below 400 kilometers per hour, and then gear down. Every time I put the gear down, the horn starts to blow. So I'll try to put the flaps first, flaps 10, and then we'll see what happens with the gear. Okay, we're doing pretty good now. $14. Looking good on the descent. We'll be leveling off by 12. Okay. So sounds good to me. Can even keep the power a little bit. So we can fly a bit faster. Well, you wouldn't do so much of the VOR flying in Korea with the Tupolev 134. They only have 2 VOR. Oh, yeah. I noticed that. I probably they use GPS. I don't know. Probably they use GPS. Alright, so I took the note. Doxic is at 40 kilometers. Whoops. 40 kilometers. So we are 31 out. We're not too far. The only thing I don't like, we're getting the needle a little bit bogged down there, but it's fine. Walney, I'm flying too much on the flat regions like Poland or Siberia. That's why I'm setting the radio altimeter. Yeah, but it's still wrong, dude. Carefully, that's still wrong. It is still incorrect to do so, sir. Okay, let's do a last alignment here. Like, I don't get it. Right, less than 1,000 to level. Almost there. And I wanted like 10 miles, right? 10 miles is 18 kilometers, so we wanted to be leveled at 58 kilometers. We are perfectly on it. And I'll try to maintain a speed of 220 to 200 knots on initial approach. So the PLF 101 flight to Smolensk, they also were using the radio altimeter. What happened with that flight? Look at that, almost 58, we're leveling off. That was a brilliant descent. And we're back into the haze. But at least I'm arriving at the time I wanted. I wanted to have this dusk approach. Snacks, did you land? Are you there? Starting to level off very easily. And altitude hold. Okay, so we have a little bit of time. We have 14 kilometers to play with. Let's see I'm gonna put the power to idle on purpose. Let's see the speed drop off and look at the angle of attack trying to compensate. You will see that the pitch of the airplane will start to increase. You know this, right? You know the pitch will start to increase, and so will the angle of attack as the speed bleeds off. We're doing pretty well. See, it's still increasing. Very slow to decelerate this airplane. And there we go, look, speed is increasing, angle of attack is constantly increasing, your pitch, attitude is increasing. And there you go, you see, I don't want to go above 6, but this is how you can see the interaction. Oh, and there is, that's the speed warning. The speed warning for gear. There I go, I put power to recover. The airspeed starts to increase, angle of attack starts to decrease. Very good. Alright, let's keep 200 knots. This is what we want. As we are reaching Doxig, almost. Right, 312. 312 is set is correct. Frequency is correct, 13.6, 13.6. Yep, 312. And the needle is starting to enter, so that's good. Yeah, pretty nice. Pretty nice. I want to see on the map. It's not perfect. Yeah, definitely not perfect, but I don't see the point. It doesn't show you. Fine, totally fine. So 41. That was pretty good. Speed is good. Almost there. It's 40 kilometers. We're pretty much stabilized on it. And there is 40. We need to turn at 34. Perhaps I could already put the course. Let's see if the airplane will start to turn already. Yeah, it will. Fantastic. So 312 is set. We have an approach checklist. Navigation, ILS, no ILS. We just have VORs. That's fine. Oh wait, that's the landing checklist. Alright, I'm going to disregard this then. There we go. Perfect. It's 200 knots. We had the time to demonstrate angle of attack and speed. We were perfectly fine. We're now approaching our entry into the VOR. Yeah, outside visibility is not amazing. I hope the weather is still good. Sky clear, visibility more than 10. Well, I'm trusting you, X-Plane. I'm trusting you. Alright, let me switch this to VOR. So both of them combined, and there's 33. Let's go. Course, heading, and turn. And I'll set 341 now. And then I'll set 348. We want the 30 DME arc. I kind of slept through. Should have started to turn earlier. So we're gonna overshoot it a tiny bit. And we want to start descending to 7 while keeping the speed there. We'll be soon passing 10,000 feet, so let's set QNH. Well, here it's set as well, so we're good. The speed Airplane is very slippery. 28.3, yeah, a little bit of an overshoot. I'll let it correct. Let's go flaps 1. Yeah, see, you put the flaps 1, it starts to shout for the gear, which I think is unrealistic. Okay, starting to increase, looking good. There's 29. Here it comes. Oh man, we are a little bit high. We're quite high, in fact. Let's go gear down. Flaps 10. Try to catch it up. Perfect. 29.6. Gear locked. So this is an early gear deployment. On purpose. I don't know, I can't deploy the spoilers for whatever reason. So I prefer to do it this way. There is 341, let's turn. 348. Let's put the lights out. In fact, I can just do this and this. Alright, let's see the distances. 37,000. Yeah, we are high. We are quite high. But we're catching up. 25,6,200. We'll be catching up with those quickly. Ah, runway lights are inside. Beautiful. So we are approaching 25, catching up. And minus 1,000 will be roughly 5 meters per second, so we're doing well. Yeah, there's no way we'll be descending in time without the gear down. Next will be 21,560 or 5,600, 56,000. Still catching up with the profile. Yeah. 21,56. Vietnam traffic, Vietnam 116 is on a long final runway 45. Vietnam traffic. Alright, let's now slow down. 17.52, it's the mandatory one. Oh, we missed it. Oh, crap. Crap. Let's recover so we do a proper job. That was way too fast. Alright, we're reaching 17 now. Let's get back to the descent. And I want to maintain about a minus 1,000. Like that. Let's go flaps 20. There we go, and confirm at 6, we want to be at 3,700. In fact, I could just hand flow the plane, and that's exactly what I'll be doing. Autopilot off, my controls. Runway is nice and in sight. Minimums, remember, 2,930. So warning, one will be at 3,000. but I will prepare the autopilot in case we need it. So far, so good. Let's go flaps full. Can now continue visually. I want to be maintaining about a 6 degrees angle of attack. Or about 5, sorry, 5 is better. Descent is good. Approaching 3000. Still nicely stabilized. Oh man, it's looking beautiful. Exactly what I wanted. You can see the PAPI as well. Remember, this is a 3.5 degrees glide, and yeah, we are stabilized. It's the 5 degree angle of attack. So this is the speed I want to keep. We're just pushing this a little bit towards the left, so correcting that. Ambient traffic, Vietnam 1160 is on a 4-mile final 135. And the minimums continue. Beautiful. Alright, landing checklist very quickly. Gear is down, flaps 30. All looking fine. Remember to deploy the speed brakes, manual reverse. Beautiful. A bit dumpy. No crew callouts though, interestingly. Oh, there we go. The 60, 50 meters, 40, 30, out 20. I put the power to idle. There's 20, 10, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Brakes, reverse, manual braking. 210, 190, 170, 150, reverses out. There we go. Welcome everybody to the N-band. Wow, what a flight this was. Holy cow. We made it. Let's stop it properly. Turn the steering on. Taxi lights on. Very, very short taxi this will be. Ah, we don't see snacks here. Alright, I hope I deployed the spoilers. 20:01. Landing time. Okay, need to start the APU. I'm pretty sure they are missing the light. Where is the light on this thing? Okay, and let's go for this guy. Switch the lights off. Yes, speed brakes are deployed. For whatever reason, there is no indication for speed brakes. Flaps are up. Let's go. Pitot heat off. Window heat off. Pitot heat off. Window heat fully off. Window heat off. Oh, what the hell? That was ugly. Parking brake set. Yep. Alright, lights. I didn't switch them off. Right. Lights are off. Let's wait for the APU to be switched on fully. It is. Put the bleed on. Power on. We need the inverter. And we're gonna start switching off stuff, so I'll put this off, put this off, I'll put this off. And I need this off. And put the APU on. Let's confirm it actually has something. Yes, it has. Beautiful. Gen 1, 2, 3, 4 off. Let's watch the APU load. APU load is good. Fantastic. So we can put it down and transponder will wait. Engine shut off. Steering off. Engines were switched off. Seatbelt sign off. And beacon light off. Transponder mode alpha off. Set to 2000. Let's see. Do we have a parking checklist? Yep. Lights off, and we need to retract them. Parking brake set, clock stopped, heating cooling switches all off. Switch off, bleed off, all navigation off, hydraulic pumps are all off, that's all off. Power selector, APU set, PO inverter on. That's set, set. Off, off, off. Yeah, we need to switch this off. And fire detection. I'll maintain the fire detection for the AP for now. But that is it. That is it, guys. Let's watch the replay. Let's watch the replay for the landing. And after I finish the replay... Oh, probably won't have lights. RIP. Well, it's fine. At least we can see the landing. Maybe I can't. I doubt it. Okay, it will work. Yay, Vietnam Airlines. Oh, that was good. That was really good. That was really good. Let's try again. Yeah, I take that. I absolutely take that. Thank you, guys. Let's see from the passenger view. Oh man, it's beautiful from here. In fact, you know what? Guys, we're gonna end the stream like this. I'll leave it from the passenger view, because this is looking really nice. Do you want this view? Left side or right side? This one or this one? Pick one view. And we're gonna watch the landing from the passenger view, and this is how I will end it. Let's see, Sync Crash Fly was ready to land. Sorry guys, I missed completely the chat because yeah, I think this view is much better than this one. Yeah. Yeah, there is the warning for the gear. Alright, I'll leave it here. This is where we recovered. This is where I kind of botched it, and then we got it fine. I missed the chat completely because I was so focused on doing this right, so I apologize for that. Let me catch up with the chat real fast and I will go. I'll leave you with the wing view for landing. I'm flying too much. Ah, wait, okay, I read that. Ready for landing with the popcorn. That's great. And oh, the PLF 101 flight from Smolensk. You're also using the radar altimeter, and the terrain was sloped. You didn't hear the crash in Smolensk in 2011 with the Polish president. Ah, see, there you go. It was a mistake because the crew were mostly doing a precision approaches. 2010. Stabilizer is not set, if I see correctly. The escapist, the stabilizer is not set, if I see correctly. How can I set that? Please explain me, because the stabilizer to me is the trim, and essentially it should be set to whatever value I should be set. So please enlighten me. That was a good landing. Thank you very much. Guys, I will be going. It's been a long stream. I hope you enjoyed this. It was really cool. Thank you for all your support. It's been lovely to be flying this airplane, even though I'm not a fan of it, but whatever. It's fun. Thank you guys for making me push myself, learn new things, and yeah, always be on my toes. That's very good. Anyways, I'll be seeing you tomorrow or Sunday, or yeah, tomorrow or Sunday, one of those days. I will be seeing you, so remember you can still vote on what flight will be done for the Phenom. So far it's been the Canada, Snowy Canada, and it looks like we're going to be talking about flight controls, but more on that later. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all your support. See you tomorrow. Have a great rest of the day. Enjoy this beautiful landing, and yeah, you're amazing. Bye-bye.